And here we go, folks. Welcome. We've got quarterfinal number 1 in King of the Desert 6. It's been a great event so far. It's been a lot of Arabia action. These two are no strangers to it. We've got ACCM. He had that crazy best of 7 against MBL in the round of 16. He was able to fight through that. He actually won that series without playing his number 1 Civ. Found out later that he thought it was only game number 6. And he was saving Chinese for game number 7. Completely forgot that he was actually playing game number 7. Luckily for him, he won. ACCM, known for not resigning. ACCM, known for fighting. And also, that is the case for his opponent here. So, the conversation around the scene is, this might be the longest set of the tournament right here. So, strap in, folks. Get some drinks, get some snacks, and prepare yourself for what could be a super long series. In the blue, we've got Yo, of course. Yo's playing as the Portuguese Civ that everyone seems to perform very well with, but Yo especially tends to do pretty well. And Vikings, Portuguese. Vikings probably want to play into infantry and then maybe some ranged units. Portuguese can kind of do it all. So Yo loves to go for scouts. Yo is not a player who goes for archers as frequently. That is the one thing about Yo. The Portuguese have cheap gold units, so they can essentially make any unit at a discount. But this matchup is determined by what happens in Castle Age for me, because I think Vikings have such a good economy there. If Mr. Yo is not getting some good aggression in, ACCM could potentially boom. The other thing, too, there was a theme in ACCM's win in his previous set. Almost all of his wins were with Knight Civs. So, like, he won with Lithuanians going Knights. He won with Berbers going Knights. There was lots of raids. You don't see that as frequently these days, where it's like Cav v Cav and lots of raids from both. So, that'll be fun. Berries are super exposed on the front for Yo. That is a horrible position to start if you want to go for scouts. He's just pushing in a deer or two. Stone is on the back. Gold that's on the back if he ever wants to take it. ACCM's golds is on the front, and all his... he's got some more gold on the front there as well. So both players have a weakness with their map. Viewers, what are your predictions here? Someone says 4-3 for Yo. I'm inclined to lean towards Yo as well. I would say something like maybe 4-2 for Yo. I'll go 4-2. And all my chat just said 4-2 as well, so I can blame them. We'll say I stole that from them. I don't think he'll sweep today. But Mr. Yo just so consistently gets into the top 4. But I do think ACCM can do it. I would consider ACCM the underdog, though. So, Barracks is coming up. What's up, Jerk? Thank you for the 2 months, Seamaster. Thank you for the year and a half with Prime. Welcome back. And after a couple deer pushed in, we'll see the scout move forward for ACCM to find Yo. Yo did open with a barracks here. So to me, this looks like he will actually consider men-at-arms himself here. Needs to drop off the food, and he'll be on his way to the next stage. Woodline's pretty safe on the back there. But yeah, this should be a better build for Vikings. So, still not entirely sure how Yo's going to manage this. Maybe he's just built the barracks early. But you're okay with an exposed gold because you could just... Okay, he's going to play archers, I guess. You're kind of okay with an exposed gold because you can wall it up. You only need 2 vills on the gold at the start. But the berries on the front is really brutal. Once the sheep are gone, you need to get over there. Yo scout... He'll see that ACCM's not on berries, and that should confirm in his mind that this will be man-at-arms. And then you have ACCM seeing the golds mining. This should confirm in his mind that this could be archers, so... There should be a lot of time with map control for ACCM. Those militia will be a threat. He can take his berries, no problem. Yo is going to be on the defensive. Yo doesn't know exactly where these units are, but he's got some work to do. Getting the walls down around the wood line. I'm guessing archer range will be around the front here, because you really just need to get those berries. T90, fun concept for a draft in a one-map tourney. Both players pick 2 civs for each round, and each player snipes 1 civ of 2. Remaining civs play each other. Yeah, but how do you do that for a best of 7? Are you expected to do that for every single game? Sounds like a lot. But then again, there has been a lot involved with this. There's been random bans. There's been the player bans. There's been like 20 different bans. So, honestly, I think it's a really smooth opening from ACCM. And it's a smart thinking, in my opinion. He just decides to skip the man-at-arm upgrade and go for the eco upgrades. The only thing that he'll maybe regret is that he didn't just stay here after seeing these walls. So now he might even be able to justify the man-at-arm upgrade, but the eco is pretty tight. Yo needed those berries. Yo has the first archer here, though. And so far, so good for Yo. A little awkward getting housed slightly. And that's just because there's a lot of work to do to defend from this, but... I mean, it's not great because he put 3 villagers on this side and the 1 villager stuck in there. 2 villagers are stuck in there. And ACCM definitely saw that. Yeah, ACCM knew that was inefficient. He knew that Yo would have to leave. But Mr. Yo fights it back. So it seems like Mr. Yo will be fine. Follow-up will be coming for ACCM. He's got a spearman. He's got his archer. The spearman for Yo did get a hit on the scout. And this will be all about the tiny little micro engagements. How clean will it be? ACCM will not end up getting any scout hits there. So far, Yo has done a really nice job here. ACCM would love a villager kill. But Mr. Yo pulls back the villager. That's so well played from Yo. He'll save that villager. So he kills all the militia. I think the really important thing here is his scout's actually on full HP because that can help against any skirms. The next thing both players will be shooting for is fletching, but it's all about the eco transitions too. Are they getting the farms down? Are they going to wall? I mean, ACCM doesn't have to kill anything. He's Vikings with free wheelbarrow, so... Like, look how easy this looks for him with all this map control. You just wall it up, and then everything should be pretty safe. He doesn't know. I mean, he's got time. Honestly, should probably be walling this way for the long term, but he's going to go for the little oval walls. So kind of expected in some ways that Yo is going to kill the army. Not necessarily expected that he's going to save the villagers. But he did a good job saving that 1 vill. And he will aim for the big walls this way. ACCM is going to sneak. And Yo hasn't seen anything here. So this is all because ACCM is getting those walls down. But will he actually get the walls down? Both players are going to miss each other here. Yo is sitting in the range, so if anything appears, he'll obviously react to it. But nice attack here from ACCM. That should be 1 vill kill if he blocks. Though he doesn't have fletching yet. Will Yo escape with another villager? So he's trying to block. If fletching was in, the first villager could have died. And, oh, it's so frustrating for ACCM. You really want those moments to work out for you. Yo can react, and now over here, ACCM reacts. And ACCM knows Yo is going to sneak through. Good play from both to defend. I wouldn't expect too much to really happen here for Yo. I wouldn't expect a lot to happen here for ACCM. Yo still pulling back as well. Yup, this is as advertised. Both players super close. Both players have not been able to kill the other. I think we should start comparing Imperial Age compositions now. Exaggerating a little bit, but... It feels like the walls will be up for both soon. We do have a stable for Yo. Yo still needs to deal with this. Yo still needs to save his vill. And our first villager goes down. Well played from ACCM. Because otherwise he would have taken 3 villagers down to low HP without killing anything. Yo is going to kill this off. Yo will also add a scout. ACCM will get a little bit of value, but nothing major. But Yo's farm count's good with 13 farms. Walling up the right side. He'll end up losing an extra archer here. He'll obviously kill the skirmisher with that scout. And I think ACCM will be happy with that. He's killed the vill. He has free wheelbarrow. His opponent does not. He knows now the transition from Yo is into a stable. He also sees the market, so this gives you some intel. Maybe Yo will use the market to click up. I would gain some confidence from that. I'd be thinking that my opponent can't get to the next stage naturally. Is ACCM idling right now to click up? Wow, look at that. So he idles, he drops off all his res, and he clicks up. I would have probably produced an extra villager there. But Vikings having wheelbarrow means the villagers do hold a lot more food. It's kind of tough to get that gauge sometimes. I don't really think Yo's stable fit the situation all that well. But his micro here is good, and he's mixing in skirms, which is a good idea. Yo loves his auto scout. Can we get some autos in chat? Yo is obsessed with auto scout, man. I mean, he just lost that other scout in the front right here against ACCM's archers, and now he's got another scout out there scouting the map. It's actually not on auto scout yet. I'm sure he'll do it. Yep, there we go. That's auto scout probably. Yep, there he goes. It's 2 archer ranges for ACCM. I do feel like he needs to protect his map a little bit with town centers at a certain stage. Notice he's canceled auto farms, so none of these farms are going to be reseeding. That's critical. You need to spend your wood on town centers and the university and ballistics. Yo is going to play big army, it seems. He's going to play skirms and knights. He probably still has auto farm on, so those farms will reseed. But Yo will probably have later town centers. ACCM, most of these villagers are going to be shifting over to wood here in a second. Score will be higher for Yo because of the auto scout situation. And ACCM moving forward. We'll see the skirms, but the skirms don't have armor, so it's not that worrying right now. He's actually getting his own cav upgrades, but he reaches castle age. Might see a knight or 2 from ACCM just to push back any skirms. But getting armor now means that Bodcanero is delayed. So actually, he should be able to push this a little bit. I think Yo would just assume Bodcanero is going to be in, though. This is nice from Yo, though. He gives himself some time. So you take the fight to your opponent, you push him back, and now you just fall back. Give yourself time to get your upgrades. And Yo's going for +2. Yeah, so this is classic Yo. A lot of people would go Elite Skirm and Crossbow here. But Yo just loves Knights. The Archer opening he will see is something he had to do. Not something he ever wanted to do. And he turns around, but again, against the Crossbows with ACCM's micro, ACCM should be in a pretty good spot. Still no university for ACCM. And crossbow count isn't the biggest right now, so I like this too. ACCM should be able to look, check the Knights upgrades, click the Knights, and if he sees +2 is in, he needs to back away. Well, or you need to get away. One or the other. I mean, I think his own Knights were to protect from skirm. And if you consider the cost of it, 150 food, and then the cost of the 2 Knights, is it going to be that helpful against much stronger Knights on the other side? Doesn't really feel like it. Now, Yo didn't track this army well. Yo, I think, was looking for it, but now he sees the Knights. But there's crossbows behind the wood line. Yo needs to be on alert here. And Mr. Yo loses another villager here, so he does have this other wood line on the right side right now, but he probably needs to come home and try and clear this. Still, though, just very late to the town centers for ACCM. At least compared to Yo. There's the second TC now. It's actually on stone. I don't like this TC. I think you can place the same TC. You can have the other side of the woodline protected and have the stone. Yo going for the third town center. Yo's Knights will find the crossbows. And when he has some ranged units in here as well, he should be able to kill this. And Mr. Yo's early +2 armor working out nicely, but nice hit and run micro from ACCM. We'll have his own Knights in the mix there. But the crossbow count is still just underwhelming. It's only 8 now, and he's going to lose 4 more, and Mr. Yo gets the full clear. Mr. Yo will be feeling very comfortable here. Falling into this position with the Vikings is rough. It's like you've so many resources now. Like, look, he's got 6 vills in queue. He's still got 400 food. But what's the army? The army was always meant to be crossbow here. I guess maybe you drop a second stable. Maybe you consider Knights. But yeah, he drops the third town center. Yo is not a player who's going to push right now. What I find is so interesting about Yo is he only makes like 6 to 8 knights in early castle. He never commits more than that. It was like that game against Nikov. He was super far behind, but he just used a couple knights really efficiently around the map. And then he will get relics for the late game. And then maybe we'll see more knight production once his economy's in a better state. But he doesn't have any knights in queue. It's just eco focus right now for Yo. Second relic about to come back home. Auto scout still moving around. Boosting his score pretty nicely. And ACCM also snagging a relic. Still adding some knights with the crossbows. He is heavy on stone. So this could be for a big fight into a forward castle. Or it could just be for a defensive castle to protect his eco while he can go in. Feel like a castle here could be game ending because both of Yo's golds are there. But Yo will never let him take that position easily. So I think for now, ACCM at least recognizes his crossbow count's not big enough. You can't be moving out with 13 crossbows against +2 armor knights. You get to 20 or 25 and then get ballistics, it's a bit of a different story. He runs in with his knights to get some raids. He just sees Yo is sitting at home. But Yo is about to ramp up the army production now. Third stable's on the way. Forging's on the way. And pretty soon, I think he might be charging up this hill. ACCM will also be charging up that hill with villagers, I think. He doesn't have an army big enough to advance out. He knows he needs protection, so he'll add more knights in there. Devotion for Yo. I once called it Deotion, which is maybe the dumbest thing I've ever said. But I made that joke because Yo doesn't... Everyone jokes that Yo gets really lucky with monks in the first place. So devotion's like 10% extra benefit for Yo when he researches it. There will definitely not be a conversion for ACCM now. Yeah, I think those vills are coming up the hill. It should be any moment now for ACCM. Might see them. He definitely wants Imperial Age. We've got more knights now from Yo. A siege workshop. This is a 4th stable. If he wins the fight here, this might end the game. Every conversion needs to happen for ACCM, which makes that devotion technology so critical here. And just to resist those conversions a little bit longer. Oh, God, the army needs to move. Okay. The game might end based on how this engagement goes. Will they see each other here? ACCM will see the knights. Yo will see the army. Yo didn't see the castle. If he saw the castle, I think he would engage, but he doesn't trust himself. Not just yet. That's still a big army from ACCM. He just has to be careful. He has to be really careful. And yeah, he sees those... He sees the mangonel, and this castle, I think, is just in time. So he got worried there. He's sending his knights in because he wants this castle to have time to complete. He takes the mangonel, but he does lose 3 knights. That's probably not that big a deal. He just needs the castle to go up. So yeah, guys, what Yo wanted here is he wanted to find this timing. And he wanted to kill the... Yo! Or ACCM, rather. He wanted to kill the army. He wanted to take the hill. But now that with the castle up, it's going to be tough. But he can get around the army. He can get to the monks. ACCM has to jump inside of his castle. I could have been so much worse for ACCM. He saved most of his army. The castle's a really strong addition here. And he will drop another town center. And now Yo is like, are you kidding me? I made all this extra army. He had like 3 mangonels in queue for a second there. And now his army is not necessarily going to pay off. He'll cancel his production. He'll aim to click imp. He'll aim to raid on the right side. Beautiful job from ACCM to preemptively wall all this. He'll bring his crossbows behind the walls. I'd like to see a 3rd and a 4th archer range from him. I don't really expect Yo to get through. There's a random archer here, though. I don't know where this guy came from, but he's killed a villager. Archer will go down now. And Yo will build a defensive castle. He'll drop an additional TC on some additional golds. And Yo will be happy to see the archers here. That's the right play. Just to ensure these archers come back home at least. I also don't mind this tower from ACCM. There's a very good chance that Yo would push this position with the siege. So if that were to happen, he could have just gone for guard tower real quick. Man, yesterday we had Sebastian playing Vikings, and he never got Bogsvigar. And it's just so sad because he made so many archers, and he just never maxed out. So that's on my mind right now. I really would like to see him max out on his army. Don't switch to anything else until that upgrade is in. Now, Yo, he wants the army from ACCM to come deal with these knights. He doesn't want the army at his base right now. But ACCM just refuses to chase. And he will drop a defensive castle here just to protect the area, just so his army can move forward. Economy's still pretty good for ACCM, but handcart's been in for Yo as well. Yo has the Viscount tied up. And Yo's defensive castle's looking pretty good right now. It's tough for ACCM to know where to go until he has some siege, and he's going to add the siege now. Bogsvigar is not cheap. You're torn between two things right now if you're ACCM. Option 1, go try and chase this army. I like that option. Option 2, you try and push the castle. I don't hate that option either. But everywhere he goes, Yo's got buildings, and it's really tough for him to envision damage right now. He goes this way, he sees a town center, he sees 2 mangonels, he sees a stable. So well played from Yo, just with positioning of his units. Nice micro there from ACCM. Are we going to actually see Bogsvigar now? Maybe he'll queue it in the castle. But he still only has 1 treb. I swear. If we see somebody else try and add something with Arbalest before they max out their Arbalest, I am going to yell. Just a little bit. Not too loud. I know some of you guys are trying to nap right now. But, I mean, come on, dude. I like Pikeman. I like Berserk combined with this, but I like Bogsvigar. Thank you. Thank you. There we go, ACCM. That's what you've got to do. You don't get Thumbring with this Civ, unfortunately. And Bogsvigar's not cheap. But at least you have that +1 attack now. Yo's Cav are running on the left side. ACCM can see that. This is going to get really messy if he has to deal with the raids constantly. That's not the type of game that he wants. Bogsvigar's now in. That's a lot of Cavalier for Yo, though. At the very least, I think Yo can try and snipe the trebuchets here. Certainly can get this treb. He's trying to micro this group so the Arbalests don't take the friends there. Mr. Yo is eventually going to need to consider some skirmishers here. And I actually wouldn't mind seeing ACCM try Elite Berserk. It's a cheap upgrade. He'll have 3 castles. I think Elite Berserk... Yes! Yes! Let's go. Elite Berserk with Arbalest is a really tough army for Cavalier to engage into. But you only have 2 castles. And only 1 armor upgrade. Only 1 attack upgrade. And Yo will have fully upgraded Cavalier. So Yo's definitely got a window here. And then you need Chieftains. And you're just... The clock starts to tick and you're like, how many upgrades do I really need? I won't be as critical. If he doesn't have Chieftains, I won't be as critical. Because this is now... He's almost maxed out and there's about to be a lot of fights. And there might be bombard cannons. So here you just might want to opt for the numbers. Yo's got the better long-term setup. He's got golds around the map. He's got that additional relic. And he's going to take this hill and try and push from it. ACCM can't make bombard cannons. And ACCM obviously needs his castle. So he only has 7 berserks. He might be saving for chieftains as we speak. He's certainly getting the blacksmith upgrades right now. Bogsvigar is in. That extra attack is going to hit hard here. Yo is just hoping to give himself some time for those trebuchets. ACCM needs to hit and run. He needs to repair his castle. But the Arbalests are doing a pretty damn good job, if you ask me. At least I think they are. I can't really tell. Honestly, I think it's an even trade. And Yo will be happy because Yo's building a castle on his face and Yo's trebuchets are still firing. Yo essentially just tossed away his army to take the position. And when the position means this gold, and when the position means this castle, the position is everything there. Yo does just enough. Mr. Yo has the relics, right? Mr. Yo has the additional golds. available on the sides, like we said. And Mr. Yo could also mix in bombard cannons. This castle's crazy. This castle's insane. Like, what are you supposed to do now if you're ACCM? He's also stuck in the unenviable position of having to go unique unit, but also needing to make trebs. He does have great resources, though. And Yo's army, Yo just lost his whole army. But it's like, does that even matter if Yo has his castles? Well, hold on. Berserks run through. Berserks will take down 2 trebs. All right. ACCM's holding. And ACCM could maybe take this castle down and take the gold again. But resources are running dry. He can't take this gold. He can't take this gold even. Yo sees the whole map right now. And Mr. Yo is starting to drop archer range units here. So he'll think about his own arbalest. Still no chieftains, but again, gold is hard to come by right now for ACCM. And he's running this way for this town center. Yo sees that. I think ACCM just needs to take this gold for now. And maybe go for one more big fight. Sell off that food, get more gold, get chieftains in, one big raid or something. Yeah, ideally needs to get to 4 or 5 trebs to push down these castles quickly. Lovely raid on the left from ACCM. He's noticed that. I like that denial. I think he's forgotten about this. That gold could be really good for him. And finally, a little bit of mobility for ACCM. And he'll want to get through here. I think Yo is walled. Yeah, Yo will lose his castle. That'll be 2 castles that Yo has lost. This is taking some time for him to tech switch. ACCM sees the cav, knows that there will be some potential raids, so he's adding some additional walls. Still no chieftains, but castle down for Yo. Taking down 2 castles and keeping all your castles up is sick for ACCM. Actually, this castle's really nice, too. It defends a lot of this eco back here. The raids will be annoying, but I think Berserks can probably deal with that. Why is Yo going Arb? I think Arb's great. Arbalest is cheap. 20% off. It is maybe slightly worse than the opponent's Arbalest, but you have Thumb Ring, so I think it's close to even. And you need some range units out here. Skirmisher would be kind of tough against the Berserks because the Berserks, they regenerate and they have that armor. ACCM still massing those trebs behind for a big push, but the Berserks, the Pierce armor is so low compared to some other infantry units. It's only 5 Pierce armor. So, man, what a game. Like we said, between these two, every game might go late. And game number 1, as if it's scripted, 190 pop for both players in good positions. This castle means ACCM will play on a bit longer. The fact that ACCM can still take this gold at any time means this game is going to go on a bit longer. But Chieftains needs to come in, and we are slowly seeing a potential composition problem for the Vikings. Just the threat of bombard cannons. What do you do about bombard cannons? You have to run in with Berserks, and then there's Arbalest there. Okay, he snipes one of the bombard cannons. So there's that. But yo, Light Cav's pretty cheap. Every gold unit he makes is discounted, so his Arbalest, he can always replenish. He does still have some units back here, by the way, that are getting some kills, so that's worth noting. But Mr. Yo loses his treb. Yeah, Mr. Yo trickle treb there. He needed to wait. Needed a little bit more patience there. He will snipe a treb with his bombard cannon, but even the bombard cannon's been forgotten. They're busy right now. Okay, Chieftains is going to hit hard. You get 5 gold for every villager you kill with the raids. Chieftains is going to feel really nice. And a lot of skirms in queue for ACCM right now. So what we've been seeing from everyone who plays Vikings is they go Siege Ram now. So Siege Ram is kind of the next thing you have to mix into the army comp, I'd say. The Cavalier is still raiding over here. Still getting a couple kills. And Yo's charging the front. Yo's not wasted much time here. And I'm just really worried for ACCM, but he snipes the bombard cannons with his trebs, and he keeps his trebs alive. There are still 2 trebs back here for Mr. Yo, though. And this is just The classic Vikings problem on Arabia. Against the Civ with Bombard Cannons, against the Civ that has better raiding units, or at least cheaper raiding units like the Light Cap, can you actually hold on if the game goes late? And Mr. Yo, he's got some momentum here. Despite all the gold income for ACCM, it's just ACCM's units don't feel like they can push this. Even though Yo's lost a lot of Trebs, he's lost a lot of Bombard Cannons, but he will make more of them. And I think this castle for ACCM will go down. Berserks are just not good enough, guys. They're just not good enough. Not against Arb. He's going to try a raid now because, I mean, what else are the Berserks good for? If he kills the Vills, he can get more gold, but he loses his castle, he'll lose his Treb, and Mr. Yo's got the middle of the map locked down. I think Mr. Yo, if he clears this army, will want a castle over here for the long term. That's the one thing he's missing. He's got a castle here. He's got a castle here. Wow, ACCM is going to try champions now. So he doesn't believe that Berserk is going to be realistic because he's losing his castles. And so he's going to consider the champion line. It is easier to produce champions, but that'll take some time to get there. He dives with the skirms. He's hoping to kill the Arps. The Berserks kill some of the Light Cav. That's a really good fight for ACCM. There's a lot of Trebs here for Yo as well. Yo has been really sloppy with his siege, but he had to drop a castle back here because ACCM was raiding him, so I think he's really stressed there. He also might have just been expecting that eventually he was going to win that fight. And Trebs are still going to town on some buildings here. Crazy that ACCM still hasn't taken this gold. He sees it. He still just hasn't been able to get over there. Yo's Trebs have taken down a castle. Yo's Trebs have taken down a town center. And Yo can make gold units for days with Portuguese. It doesn't feel like ACCM can make Berserks for very long. Or Arbalest for very long. He does have both in queue. But this combination of Arbalest and Light Cav is more sustainable, maybe. Maybe. Let's not forget the Portuguese could also add a Feitoria. I highly doubt we're going to see it because Yo is pretty maxed out with his pop, but it is maybe wise if it's going to go very late to save some population space and some resources for a Feitoria. Gold on the left is gone. ACCM still does not take this gold. And Yo's Trebs still just holding the line here. Population's even. Berserks may go in. Have a chance at the Bombard Cannons. Yo backs off. There's a lot of skirms in there for ACCM, and he's continually focusing down these Arbalest. But his production's all on the front line. And I think he's finally about to be broken. All of his production's running right into the meat grinder. Yep, he's got to regroup. All of his archer ranges are not set up to send the units back where he needs as well, right? So he has to delete some holes in his walls to get his units back. And if he backs away, Yo is going to come forward with the Bombard Cannons and with the Trebs. Take the castle. Take the relics out of the monastery, maybe. There is a little bit of raiding on the right side with some random skirms and arbs. Like, there's an attempt to distract. But Yo has just stayed consistent. The Arbalest switch was perfect. Switching into Light Cav Arbalest was the best play he could have gone for here. There was a point where he made a couple hand cannons, but that was as he was tech switching into Arbs. Another game where the Vikings lose in late game. But credit to Yo because he was way later to the Imperial Age and he had to hold against a really strong army. Just the Vikings seem to lack a little bit of strength compared to these other civs. It's wild to me, though, that, like, the devs buffed Lancers, like Fire Lancers. The devs buffed, like, the Keshik. The devs buffed, like, a bunch of different units, and then the Berserk is just sitting there like, yo, what about me, bro? What about me? I think there was a buff at some point. I don't know when, but the Berserks just seem a little underwhelming. Only 74 HP. Their regeneration rate isn't, I guess, an impressive enough stat. You can't see this dude's face, but he's frowning right now. He's really upset. because the units just doesn't seem to be quite as strong as it needs to be. And so my feeling with Mr. Yo, he was able to snag a Portuguese 4th on the draft. He knew he would be happy with that, and he takes the first game. So I think for ACCM, there were 2 moments of the game where things could have gone differently instead of the late game, right? And to anyone who questions the Vikings, anyone who's like, man, Vikings suck. Well, the idea is you want to have the lead earlier. So if you go back to early Castle Age, his army count was not substantial enough, right? I think he expected Yo to go skirms. I think he thought that he could make a couple knights and that these crossbows would be enough. But I would have liked to see more army production here from ACCM. His army count was super low, and then losing that army, this is where the game falls apart for the Vikings. You still do have that later stage of Imperial Age, and you can get to Imperial Age faster because of the economy, but I think early Castle Age is really where you want to pressure. And yeah, he just didn't really have the army numbers he needed there. Remember, Yo didn't make that many knights at that stage of the game. So if he has 25 crossbows with ballistics, the whole game changes. Yo has to add siege. Yo might need skirms, and Yo can't freely boom and get the relics. So that's actually, the mid game is really where ACCM needed to turn things around a little bit. Easier said than done, of course. It was a good attempt otherwise. I think he needed rams. I think he needed siege rams with the berserks, with the arbalest, but that's asking a lot when you need to get both unique techs too. Unique techs are not cheap either, so well played to Mr. Yo. All right, so game number 1, we had a civilization which is kind of awkward to play on Arabia for ACCM in the late stage. Here he's playing the Tatars, and this civilization has not been commonly picked, which I think is just because so many other civs have some easier bonuses to utilize. But it is a really good late game civilization on Arabia. I feel like this civ is made for Arabia. You've got the hill bonus. Your sheep last a little bit longer. Thumbring is free for cav archers. Really tanky cav if you want to go hussars and raid later on. But yeah, we haven't seen Tatars played a lot because there's so many other civs that have received so many bonuses over the years. Finally, I've been waiting for this for years, but finally it feels like chat's starting to talk about it. Other players starting to talk about how maybe the game's been power crept a little bit too much. I'm not going to get up on my soapbox right now. That's maybe a good time for a video. But I've been saying, like, the fact that Tatars have not been a must pick in competitive AoE for an Arabia tournament tells you maybe something's a little bit wrong here. It feels like these bonuses should be really good. So I was very, like, when Malay got their free armor, Koreans got their free armor, I remember being like, I don't know about free armor upgrades, guys. Didn't feel like I had a lot of people in my corner, so I kind of just shut up about it. But yeah, some people starting to feel, I know Sato talked about it recently, like, yeah, there's been a lot of really strong things added to the game, which definitely has an effect, right? So Malay are one of them. Malay are good. Like I said, you get the free armor upgrades, but the best way to get a lead with the Malay is just utilize the faster uptimes. Going to feudal age as fast as they do does actually make feudal age an awkward age for them to manage, but it's faster castle age and faster imp, where at this level you tend to see big advantages taken. Yo is trying to the double deer push here. The gazelles are not exactly cooperating, but it's close enough to the town center. He'll just kill them to get some extra food. And drops the house in the front. Malay are definitely more of an infantry civ. Tatars with that food income definitely would want to open scouts here. Playing scouts into archers. Maybe scouts into cav archers. I think going just scouts and hoping to get to cav archers is ambitious. You probably need to make some skirms and some archers too, but cav archers is definitely your ideal unit. But my philosophy, my thinking with cav archers that I will always preach is the best way to take advantage of cav archers and actually get them to work well in a game is you need to have army control and be ahead to castle age. That is going to be extremely difficult against the Malay, right? Like the Malay advance faster to castle age. So in that aspect, it is a really good matchup for Yo. Both players push their deer. See how ACCM has this palisade here? So he's respecting the fact that Yo could go for the early barracks and the early militia. Some other players have been doing that. Yo's like, I'm not even considering it. Might just see Yo go scouts here. But map's fairly open. Still could be man-at-arms or something, right? Fairly open for both. Any engagement on the hill should be good for Tatars. There's not a lot of hills directly around Yo's base, unfortunately, for ACCM. But there are hills in the middle, at least, and that could affect some of the engagements there. Yo is going to send more vills to wood. Really just feels like... Oh, what is this uptime? What? 20 pop with Malay? All right, let's see if Yo can actually benefit from this timing. If I would do this, I'd get to feudal age, and my barracks is not going to be on time to complete my stable or my archer range, or I can't get eco upgrades. Like, this is really fast. Let's see. Barracks is on the way, at least. It's not about what time you reach feudal, though. It's what can you do with that feudal age? Yo just passing. He kind of expects that stable from ACCM. ACCM sees the wood line. ACCM needs to scout the front. Yo's managing this pretty nicely here. Not bad. And long term, the Malay will have the villager lead because they spend less time researching the next stage, right? Damn, nice build from Yo. We should see the stable for ACCM. Should see the stable for Yo. Yo wants to place it there, and ACCM knows. And ACCM's like, I know you're going to build it as part of your wall. He's trying to block this. This is so annoying, but so good from ACCM. I love this. Yeah, and there's the stable now. But he delays it a little bit. Mr. Yo, I feel like he's a player who doesn't really care. He's like, whatever. But drops his stable. Again, resources are pretty awkward to manage here, but he's done a nice job. Scouts will be coming out for ACCM. So as a result of having so much extra food from your sheep, we typically see the Tatars have the wood to add the archer range much earlier if they want. Because you don't need to add the farms at the same time. But at the same time, I feel like you might just see scouts, spears, and walls. And maybe he uses that wood for the walls. And hopes to play safe in hopes of getting to cav archers later. The scouts are moving forward for ACCM. Yo's got some spears positioned around. Yo is also walling. So this is how these two tend to play Arabia. But ACCM likes to play the more aggressive style with man-at-arms like he did in the previous game. But didn't exactly get the damage done. Yo's got a spearman in perfect position everywhere. So that's 2 different spearman hits now. Or some damage dealt in the scouts. So far, so good for Yo. Yeah, the fact that Yo was able to get double bit, horse collar, and make at least like 1 or 2 scouts with these spearmen is really good. And you can tell the way Yo sees this matchup is play safe for now, and then I have the lead, and then I will play towards early castle age timings. And no archer range or anything for ACCM. Runs into another spearman hit. So he has not been able to get the damage he wants against Yo so far this series, guys. And Mr. Yo's chilling. He's chilling. Big walls over here. Big walls over here. Hill bonus damage there from ACCM. Nice play. Nice hits. Yo would just maybe add 1 more scout. Just in case there's a follow-up. Farm count's looking good. I would assume that this is going to be a play into crossbow long-term. Maybe for both. Because when your opponent's walled, you don't want to have 0 army. So we might see ACCM go crossbowman as well. Still something that Tatars can compete with. But this is what you would have wanted as the Tatars against the Malay. You would have wanted a generation where you have hills everywhere, which sometimes happens. Hasn't happened here. You would have wanted a generation where there wasn't 4 deer to push in. Because the Malay would struggle doing everything Yo has done, and the Tatars would have the extra food on the sheep. So they would have the food lead. That didn't happen either. So I'm not saying that players don't have to manage it, right? But there is definitely that variety can benefit one player more than the other. And it definitely has benefited Mr. Yo to not have the elevation, to start with the additional deer. And he's used it perfectly here. And here comes 1 archer, 2 spearmen from ACCM. But Mr. Yo will be walled up already. He puts his blacksmith there. And Mr. Yo added 5 scouts. I don't have an issue with that because you might be able to take a fight against a couple archers now. And even if you click up later to Castlage because you spent a bit more on food, that's no stress because you'll be to Castlage probably faster anyways, right? T90, who do you think is the second best pure Arabia player? Question mark. Can you ask me in 4 days? I think you should ask me that in 4 days, and I'll have a really good answer for you. In fact, I think we'll have an Arabia-only tournament, which will give us data to back it up. Isn't that a crazy thought? It's not just speculation. It's actual, like, facts to work with. Crazy, right? Yeah, ask me in 4 days, dude. Answer now, coward. I'm not being a coward. We're in the final 8. All right, maybe it's a little cowardly. I mean, I consider Hera number 1, right? I think that's what you would do as well because you asked who the second best is. It would be Leary. If Hera's number 1, Leary's number 2 in my mind. And that might even be that might not even be just pure Arabia. That might just be in any tournament setting right now. So Cryptic says I think T90's number 2. Oh, please. Come on, don't insult me. Don't insult me with such a statement, please. Yeah, Heart's incredible. Heart Hera today will be interesting. Heart is incredible talent. I think Heart would be maybe top 5 on Arabia for me. Yo would maybe be top 5 for Arabia for me. That leaves what, like 1 other spot? Maybe throw in Vinchester. But then you got Viper. Like, Viper's got to be top 5. I don't know, man. A lot of really good players. That's why I said maybe we'll find out. But I don't put a lot of weight into ladder games because certain players take ladder games seriously. And then other players treat ladder games as for experimentation and just a bit of fun. So I really don't take any, like, ranked game stats that seriously. It'd be different if everybody treated it like a tournament, but some people do, some people don't. Yo's just playing skirms, by the way, not playing the crossbow timing. Yeah, exactly. Sebastian as well. Oh, there's a hole here. Sebastian as well is incredible in Arabia. So yeah, ask me in 4 days. I'll have a really good answer for you. That's literally what this tournament is designed to find out. So ACCM's up to Castlage faster. He's dropping the second town center, and he's playing those cav archers from 2 archer ranges. The thing is, Yo's not playing to win the game right now. He's not playing to kill an early Castlage, but he knows he has the eco lead. Yo will snipe the archer there. Well played. And Yo's just going to boom it out. And he's correctly predicting his opponent's going to go skirms. Or, sorry, cav archers. And he's adding the skirms. But ACCM can run away from those skirms. Realistically, I think if ACCM sees the skirms, he would have wanted a forward siege workshop. T90, who are the top 8 Arabia players? Top 8 Arabia. Okay, that I can do for you. Okay, you ready? In no particular order, we have Yo, ACCM, Hart, Hera, Sebastian, the Viper, and Leary, Vinchester. That's my top 8. There we go. There's my top 8. 2 TCs for ACCM. You do get the additional sheep from your TCs once they complete. Not Tato? No, Tato is a top 16 Arabia player. As demonstrated by King of the Desert 6, the tournament we're casting now. I know that's unfair, because I know there's some matchups that you might consider harsh, right? people who are fans of certain players are going to say, well, actually, you know, it opens up the opportunity for the well actuallys, but, you know, what else are you going to look to except an actual Arabia tourney? Like I said, ladder, some players play more actively than others. I guess I'm really boring today. Maybe, I don't know, am I the problem or was it the questions that was just mistimed? Maybe it's me. I'll be better, all right? I'll be better. The scouts come over and a knight to help against these skirms. Nice job here from ACCM to pressure the skirms back because he needs some support for those cav archers. It's not a very big army, though. It's not an army that's going to clear this. And there was still a cav archer killer, too. I do really think you need some siege right now if you're ACCM, and he does have the siege workshop. And monastery's up for Yo. This is very similar to the previous game. Yo just wants to be on his town centers. He wants to add his eco. He wants to play towards him. And once this gets to a game state where you've been at 65, 75 vills for a bit, that's where your resources start to rise. With other civs, you'd see more stables. You'd see knights like he added with Portuguese in the past game, but you don't really do that here. You could try elephants, but I think it's just going to be another archer range, more upgrades on the skirms, and maybe he just tries to click Imperial Age. Guys, this series is going to be so freaking long. Is every game going to go imp? It's just neither player can break the other. They know that, so they never go too aggressive in Feudal Age. Just super transition focused. I think for now this benefits the Malay. But if ACCM can hold from the imp timing, which means he has to be pushing now with some siege, essentially. If he can hold from the imp timing, I really like the late game comp. It's just tough to get there. Cav archers, hussars. I doubt we'll see flaming camels, but hey, you can do it. T90, don't you agree that Sebastian vs. Tato series was really unfair because there were no canoes? ? Frederick, that was uncalled for, okay? I thought you were going to say it was unfair because of Game 7 map, and then you had to go with the canoes, all right? There's people here who don't know what the canoe story is. I prefer to keep it that way. Jeez. I've got to put Frederick on the list of messages not to read. I love the outposting from ACCM, and this is well-timed pressure because if he didn't pressure, Yo would be planning a defensive castle or maybe even a middle castle, and then Imperial Age. It's interesting that Yo is starting to produce some elephants now, and ACCM is actually focusing down the stable at the exact same time. Still no ballistics for ACCM, but I kind of like it. I don't think you've necessarily needed it. Didn't benefit from ballistics. And here comes ACCM. Now, how aggressive is this castle? You see a flag there? You probably just want the hill. He also sees the siege workshop. This is the correct move to not place it on the front. Guys, they buffed Keshiks. Keshiks were a really strong unit before. They buffed them again. I say again, I don't really remember the history of the unit, but I could just tell you it's a really strong unit to make now. So maybe we see Keshiks and Cav Archers. Yo can't see that castle's coming up, but he might sense it. And well played from ACCM. Vil count's even. Nice position for ACCM. Elephants will come out to snipe the siege. The elephants will maybe snipe the siege because there's no ballistics, but there's villagers here. There's a lot of vills here to repair now. Yeah, the elephants just go down. Well played there for ACCM to save his siege. He can continue to push through. And I think he should be making Keshiks now. Keshiks are a really, really strong unit. They made Elite really cheap. That was one of the aspects of the buff. I think they changed the cost of the unit as well. Forgive me, I kind of lost track. The base HP is 140 now. I think it used to be 120 or 130 before. Keshiks will go in. There are some monks in there for Yo. The monk gets sniped, though. The Keshiks can go for the siege. which means that ACCM can continue with the mangonels. He doesn't take all the siege. This is kind of a risky area to move into. Yo wants a defensive castle so he can go imp, but Yo loses his siege. He's not exactly building this castle with urgency right now. ACCM is diving, and Yo's mangonel's only at 50%, and this castle will be denied. The Keshiks pay off. The siege pay off for now. Yo needs a big shot. Yo needs this mangonel to go 1 for 2 at least. He has a chance to do that. Boom. Oh my god, what? Oh my god. Okay, well, he took out 3 of them. He took out all 3 of them. He has a monk here. He can now maybe finish the castle. He converts the Keshik. He didn't actually lose many vills. He's killing the CA. ACCM's trying to delay this, but he's losing all of his cav archers, and Yo's on the way to an Imperial Age. That was a crazy engagement from Yo. Yo actually holds. I don't know how he does it, but he holds just enough, just in time. And now, just Malay things. He'll be an imp. He can start to treb down ACCM. And ACCM just spent a lot of food on Keshik. So, damn. And he lost all of his cav archers, too. So, he's got a choice on what units he wants to actually commit to. Also, Yo has 3 relics. So, that's not bad. Yo could maybe get a 4th. Maybe get a 5th if the game continues. It feels like all the relics are right here. What in the... There's a relic back here, I guess. And there's a relic here. I guess there's just a lot of relics. I think Yo is not expecting ACCM to continue with Keshiks. So he's just continuing to plan on skirms because the skirms will hopefully be good enough. And his opponent will switch back into cav archers. Tiny detail. Yo lost his barracks, so if he ever wants to go for pikemen, he would have to build another barracks, which is kind of annoying here. Oh, man. ACCM misses the shot. Oh, man. Yo gets more conversions. What? He uses the Keshiks he converted to kill more siege. Keeps all of his skirms alive. Trebuchet's on the way, and ACCM has not even clicked up yet. That's crazy. What a hold. How did he only lose 7 vills? And Keshik. Oh! Oh! Okay, well, yeah, not a problem. What would you make here if you're ACCM? I think Keshik is your best unit against skirm. On the left side, Yo builds a castle to protect more gold. He'll get relic number 4. He's taking his sweet time here with the trebuchets. I'll say that. But it's so tough for ACCM to actually pressure. You can't pressure the left. Feels like you can't go through here, at least if Yo rewalls it. And if Yo plays full trash, if he plays Halbin Skirm, it's tough for the Tatars to engage into. Nice snipe there from ACCM to stop Yo from getting that relic. I think the best comp, if you can't go double gold unit, which I don't think he can, is Cav Archer and Hussar. Obviously, if you have a bit of a better economy and you're not losing your castles, I think Elite Keshik and Cav Archer would maybe be what you want. But he'll lose this castle. There's no doubt about it. That castle will go down, which means he only has 1 castle to produce Trebs and to produce Keshiks. And these Keshiks back here just going to go down to some leftover skirms. The crazy thing is Yo hasn't even produced that much army since he's been an imp. He's had so much time because he's up so fast. He doesn't even need it. Like, this castle position was key. He's playing patient. Maybe he's playing too patient. I think he needs a castle over here so the raids don't happen. But maybe he wants the castle in the middle now after that clear. He's got Halb on the way. He's getting all the blacksmith upgrades. Again, a lot of those upgrades are free. Like, all the armor upgrades are free. That would take time and resources away from a Civ with a very good timing attack already. But he's got the armor locked and loaded, bringing the Vills now to drop the castle here. And he wants to push this castle. This is ACCM checking the tech tree to see how much Timurid Siegecraft is. He wants +2 range on his Trebs. Oh, nope, Yo was lagging. Never mind. But it was a good prediction because I never know how much this freaking thing is because I never get it. It's 500 wood and 400 gold. All right. We just had some lag from Yo. Yo has to be careful here. But ACCM, does he need to be careful? ACCM's army count is so low. Yo's resources are so high. Influenza says you just hover over the icon to check. Okay, well, Influenza, a lot of players will have the tooltips disabled because that stuff is popping up all the time in-game, and they obviously won't go into tech tree during the game as well because they have to look at the game. So it depends on the player. In my case, I don't have the tooltips because I don't want the distractions on my screen, and I sometimes need the tech tree pause. This just seems so awkward right now, man. It just, Yo's army is so big right now. It's the opposite of the engagement he wants, though. The Halbs are out of position. The Halbs chased the Cav Archers. The Skirms were on Keshiks. And because of that, Yo might lose his Trebs. That was the one thing I was critical of him in the previous game, is losing his siege. But that's why you go in with 3 Trebs. Castle stays up for now for ACCM. He will get elite Keshik. He doesn't have any Keshiks yet, but they are going to be elite once he makes them. Yo could make bombard cannons. Tatars can't do that. Trebuchet gets sniped. ACCM is holding. Yo is still taking some really good cost-efficient trades against gold units, though. He's killed Keshik's gold unit. He's killed Cav Archer's gold unit. And he's going to go for elite Karambit warrior out of these castles. Not exactly an expensive unit to spam. And if he starts to raid with that too... Oh, no, no. Don't lose the Treb, ACCM. Oh, no. Yeah, if he loses the... Actually, completely forgot what I was talking about. I have no clue what I was talking about. I completely lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry. But anyways, I think something Karambit warriors are strong. I guess you're really exposed against raids because you've lost your castles. And Yo's just back with more. ACCM needed more from that attack in the middle, guys. He needed to break Yo before Imp. And the power of Yo, just playing relaxed in Castle Age, that perfect defense, and then the power of the Malay with the timings, seems to be working out. The Karambits make it through. Can the Karambits get the Treb? No, they can't. Still 3,000 gold in the bank for Mr. Yo. And he has his siege. The castle for ACCM is about to go down. If his castle goes down, it can be much easier for Yo to engage. Can he keep the castle up? He loses another Treb. He's going to lose his castle. And castle will fall. Just way too much army for Mr. Yo. Such a cheap army as well. And he'll storm up the hill. The castle's down. The Keshiks were buffed. The Keshiks are cheap, but you need the castles for them, man. You need the castles for them. You need the time. Yo's just, ever since reaching Imp, he's just snowballed like crazy. We haven't looked at his base at all. We haven't even looked over here. He's got additional gold tier 2. He's got time to do anything he wants. Not the game Tatars would have wanted. They would have wanted more hills. They would have wanted less deer. So their sheep bonus had more of an effect, and it's just Mr. Yo just playing to his win conditions perfectly. And ACCM's known for fighting, but I think Yo will all but force him to tap out here. I have to go back and watch that siege engagement, though. I don't know how 3 mangonels went down. It looked like maybe one might have gone down to the town center, but that was crazy. I thought best case scenario we'd get 1 for 2, but he ended up getting 1 for 3 there. And he was so casual with the castle, too. He was building the castle with, like, 7 builds. Like, he knew it was going to happen. And you just don't get to know that's going to happen there. Right? That's not normally how that works. We do have hand cannons and elite Keshik right now for ACCM. So that fight was enough to hold finally. It's a nice comp against mainly infantry. But Yo has stables now. And Yo gets to spam cheap elite battle elephants. So it's just the next painful thing to deal with now. It's Yo still with 3k gold. Has Yo ever been below 2,000 gold in Imp? I feel like Yo is spending gold, but he always has 3k. It's crazy. Here we go. Okay, yo, lost the Treb. He's got 17 elephants out in the field now. You would really need Halb against this. Oh, flaming camels. Actually, flaming camels for Tatars. That's actually not bad. They do bonus damage. So we'll see the rare competitive flaming camel out from the Siege Workshop. That's fun. I mean, maybe? Castle over on the left side for Yo. Looks like he took some damage to some raids. There's a Treb over there for ACCM to push that. Flaming camel. Hype. Hype. Well, they don't flame when they're not moving, so it's kind of easy to lose track of them. It kind of looks like a bale of hay just out in the fields. Oh no, the castle on the left here for ACCM is getting raided. Yo is getting raided by some Keshiks, but his defensive castles are still looking pretty good. Yo, also noticing now that there's a trebuchet there. They're both trying to treb different castles right now, and they're both raiding with different cav units, and they both have defensive castles. The Keshiks make it through. The elephants have made it through. ACCM is losing this castle, and Yo will not lose this castle. He's not even repairing it. Maybe because he ran out of stone. But the Karambits will go over to clear it up. His castle will stand. ACCM still losing ground here. He does have heavy cav archer finally. Honestly, props to ACCM for holding on. It's impressive that he's held. And the elephants do lack armor, so they do go down to the heavy CA. I think Yo might stop making them. Yo might just play skirms. Skirms and halbs mainly again. With the occasional elephant. Okay, trebuchets are exposed. Castle's still up. More volleys, though. No! Oh, castle goes down. So unfortunate for ACCM. He was so close to keeping that castle up. He invested a lot of stone into repairing that. The problem is his eco is just wide open, right? Look at the amount of castles. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 castles for Yo. He's just got more stone, so he'll probably make more. And then we have a castle way back here for ACCM and a castle here. And in late game, you need the castles around the map. And like we said, Yo is gold, so it shouldn't be an issue for Yo to make more trebs and to push these castles. And as ACCM is distracted, there's 3 more trebuchets here. We got some raids in the north from the Karambits. They've killed 14 villagers. The elephants, I guess they'll die trying to take down the town center, but they're just taking the cav archers away from them where they need to be right now. Little raid from ACCM, but Yo's got a castle. I mean, he's set. Yo's killed 90 villagers from ACCM. He sees a castle, he snipes a castle right now. Damn, he's playing so good. This is why Yo is to be the favorite against ACCM. Like, I feel like he is slightly better in the late game, and so far he's just played towards imp win conditions. He would feel like he has the better imp compositions with these civs. I mean, I think it's just more awkward to get to the Tatar late game if the Malay player plays like this. Okay. More treb snipes for ACCM. More elephant snipes. More flaming camels coming out. Keshik's getting to the back. Getting some damage dealt. That's good. Flaming camel. Boom. Boom. Dude, they're so good against these elephants. If you have a couple flaming camel hits and the cav archers, it's really nice against Ellie's. But it's also a gold unit, so it's not like the unit's cheap, and he's slowly running out of resources. Does snipe another treb. Has killed a bunch of elephants. So here's that fighting spirit from ACCM, but I find it really hard to believe that he could last here. How much gold is actually left on the map right now? There's 3K. And I think ACCM is mining some of that. He's got 1,000 golds here, if he can take that. Up here, we've got 20. He only has 2 relics. Oh, and there's the other gold down here. Oh, I wonder where Yo's going to castle right now. Oh, wait. this is where the rest of the gold is. That's fun. I'm going to take that. Thank you very much, ACCM. Just crazy awareness from Yo. Yet again, has his opponent busy in the middle or somewhere else, and he just moves and places the castle there. And Cav Archers, they have their extra Pierce armor. Is 50 on food for ACCM, so maybe he can still spam more Keshiks. Maybe the hope of light Cav is still there. But he is losing the Cav Archers. He's killing a lot of elephants, but he's still losing the Cav Archers. And now Yo can just take this gold. Now, if Yo truly runs out of gold, he can just go for Force Levy and then spam Two-Handed Swordsman the rest of the game. It only costs food. And obviously, we've seen the spears. We've seen the skirms. Props to ACCM for not calling this. But, I mean, I don't see how he has a win condition here, guys. You can't win late game on Arabia without defensive castles. His eco's just exposed everywhere. All it takes is Yo sending a unit or two into these open areas, and everything just dies from there. This is just ACCM. Classic fighting mentality. Always believes there's going to be a chance. Never say die attitude. But hard for me to have the same spirit casting it right now. As he's at 140 pop. Ellies are going to go into the eco here. Yo is going to walk forward and steal the 450 gold remaining. Why not, though? He does lose a lot of elephants. ACCM keeps telling himself, oh, I'm killing the elephants. I'm killing the elephants. No, you're not. You're not killing these elephants, man. And there's always going to be more. Flaming camels also aren't like, they're not necessarily like a demo. So they're not good against all units. They have bonus damage that makes them really good against cav and elephants. But GG. Yo made 162 elephants that game, 124 karambits, and 113 halbs. ACCM was able to get to heavy CA and elite Keshik, but he just never had the position. It wasn't about the unit. It was about the flow of the game. That fast Imperial Age from the Malay was just simply everything. And to do that, he had to get that castle up. And I just want to rewatch that. If this castle gets denied, the whole game changes, right? Let's go back. There was 3 mangonels from ACCM. It was the right idea to know he needed to pressure at this time. So this was not an awful moment for him. Okay, he sees the castle. What happens here? So Yo does have another one at 12%, and he has this one here. But then they trade. Okay, so they trade 1 for 1. And now it's 3 mangonels for ACCM. It's 0 for Yo. He's building a castle with 6 vills. What happens? I think the mangonels were clicked onto the skirms. And they get a little too close to the town center. So that one gets weakened. But even still, you should only lose 2. And now they're stacked. Oh, God. Okay, so Yo shot these 2. And then the other one died to the town center. Oh, man. Now, that's tough. It's super easy to misclick here. Click a house, click a random unit, and path into the TC, or get stuck on the mill or something. But realistically, you need your mangonels to be spread out as much as possible here, and you need to have the mangonels here. Then I think he could take some good engagements. Also, you really have to avoid losing Keshiks to conversion, too, because once the Keshiks are converted, like Yo converts this one, I'm pretty sure that guy was sniping a mangonel later. But beyond that, I think it's just, you got to stop that castle. And even if you delay that castle an extra 5 minutes, that changes the whole game. He could be the one with map control. He could be the one with the hills. And then he could have gone for a lot more elite Keshiks to maybe have a chance. But what was crazy was Yo hits Imp. He has 15 skirms. Okay? That's at 33 minutes. I'm scrolling forward to see when Yo actually made other forms of military beyond Trebs. Okay, so 37 minutes. So for 4 minutes, he just kind of sat back behind castles and benefited hugely just with having the Trebs underneath that castle. Like, normally you need to have army a whole lot faster, right? But trebuchets were just going to be key there. And he's just so patient. So more of every resource except stone. Yo wins 2 games in a row. And maybe ACCM needs to be more aggressive against him. Maybe he needs to pick civs that are better in the Imperial Age. These are all things to consider. Like if I'm ACCM, I might want to consider Byzantines now, because Byzantines are maybe the best imp civ in the game. So he could play the same style they've been playing, but in imp he's got advantages then. Again, Yo's win with the Malay based on late game. So Yo will maybe go Vietnamese now. Another good late game civ. Solid on the early game as well. All right, so every game has gone imp so far. And in every game, there's been a question on if the imp civilization for ACCM was good enough. Now he goes Byzantines. I would say one of the best imp civs in the game. If you get to cataphracts, you just absolutely destroy everything. But then cheap spears, cheap camels, cheap skirms throughout the game, and also cheap Imperial Age. So no eco bonuses like he had in the prior games. But to compensate for that, he's going to try a lane. So I like this too. You're down 2 games. You need some advantage. Yo likes these super relaxed games where he can just sit back. And will ACCM get lucky here? He will, but the boar is here. Does he see this? I think he thinks Yo is to the left. Thinks Yo's spawned over here, but oh man, he's missing it. That could be a boar gone for Yo. Meanwhile, Yo's just still scouting his map. Yo will bring in this boar a little bit earlier than you normally see, so he is expecting a lane. Yo's map is really good, though, guys. Like, really good. It's not as good as Sebastian had against Tato in Game 7, but for what you want to do with this civ, you want gold safe, and you want wood lines, and you want to be able to wall. So if he just wants to go wood and gold, he could easily do that here. Still very good there for ACCM, able to get the 2 sheep. But as Byzantines, what you want to do is you want to go spear skirm onto the berries or the wood line. He missed the berries. Oh, man, that's so unfortunate. I think if he would have seen the berries, he would go forward. But not knowing that, maybe he chooses not to. But that's the risk you take when you... Well, it's not really... It's more of a risk to go forward like that because you might miss your own resources, which he won't here because Yo doesn't seem to care enough to come forward, but... You just don't spend an awful lot of time scouting the front of your opponent's base because you need to come home. Yo is one of the trickiest players with Saracens. Because he'll go with a range. He'll build the market early. And you have to respect that he's going to make archers. But more often than not, you're always guessing wrong. If you go skirms, he's building a stable and buying his way to Castle Age and making knights. He actually doesn't make camels that frequently with Saracens. He just makes a couple knights just so he could boom. And then if you think you know what he's going to do and you undermake army, then he, has 10 archers in feudal age and then comes over and kills you. So he does a good job at disguising what he's going to do. Certainly, ACCM's base isn't bad, but just not quite as good to wall up early to make those early decisions. And Yo will be fine. He'll push in some deer. Losing 2 sheep isn't the biggest deal. Ison, thanks for the 38, man. Ah, yeah, green badge. Nice. You know what badge is very festive right now? I don't know if there's any chatters with this, but the green and the red. Which would be... I guess that's people who are at 2.5 years? Have the red and green badge? I think that's it, right? Because it's player 3 and it's player 2 combo. Yeah, so... Yeah, Gossip Girl's badge is very festive, very Christmassy. You planned that. I know you did. Smart. Yeah, okay, the red badges too, like Huntaro and Wishbear's badge. Okay, you got the red. If the red chatters chat with the green chatters, then it all blends together. Looks good, so. ACCM scout on the hunt. On the front, ready to go. So, yeah, Yo's going to wall up. Yo will be happy that the berries are the only thing that's exposed. He'll take his time. He's 19 pop. I would expect Vils to go to gold. I'd expect 0 aggression from Yo. I think he's just going to try and adapt as fast as he can get the market up, the better here. Saracen market rates are crazy strong. But again, right? Like, I think Yo's gotten fortunate at times. Like, the previous map with this Civ, it would be way harder for him to play. Malay with this map would be really strong as well. But, like, just the fact that he's got that easy wall off and the gold in the back is just so good for him. I feel like sometimes the favorite, they make the most of every situation, of course. But sometimes I feel like the AoE gods always give them that slight edge. Just not the map that ACCM would have wanted to be up against with Saracens. It's unfortunate. He sees the woodline, he sees the gold. He's probably like, oh, you're kidding me. He doesn't know about the berries. Oh, but he should be able to use process elimination. No, the berries aren't back here. And he is going forward. I love the fact he's going forward. This will get interesting. So ACCM is tired of Imp. And Yo has been greedy pushing in the deer. And Yo is going forward to find ACCM, and he will not find anything. Let's watch Yo scout for a second. Let's see how paranoid he gets. He's looking around. I think if he knows where ACCM is and he doesn't immediately see a barracks, we might see an outpost. Okay, he knows now. Never mind. ACCM's not exactly hiding this. He rushes in with the Vils. He sees the spearmen. And he would just wall up the berries. Just to prevent Yo from ever taking that. So that's the only thing he could really deny easily. He's already done that. When you build the house, you get some vision too with the Byzantines. So if he ever comes back, you know. Now he'll come over to this wood line. Now, normally the Saracen player sells their stone to buy food or whatever. So notice that Yo's not doing that. Ooh, and also Yo isn't completely walled over here. And the army's going to get through. Oh, this is some nice damage. Oh, but the villager's blocking. What? No way Yo gets away without losing a villager here, right? That'd be so unfortunate. Oh, he gets the villager snipe. Well played from ACCM. Nice vill damage. We now have the tower going up. He needs a spearman here, though. Over here, his spearman might need to pull back. I don't think you can kill much more. And now Yo is building a defensive tower. This has been chaotic. Yo's villagers are standing around. Yo's villagers are idle. Yo has had a minute of TC idle time. This pressure has worked so far for ACCM. But what Yo did do is he did shift wood lines ahead of time. What Yo hasn't been doing is mining a lot of gold. So Yo can't easily buy food right now. He's got 0 food income except for that farm now. The best thing you can do against this forward is to try and counterattack. But if the pressure is so severe... but that you feel like you need some army at home to snipe the villagers, you stay. So, and ACCM should realize now the scouts aren't here. He's got plenty of time. It won't be easy, but he should be able to start walling up. He's walling up the wood line. He's actually sending more villagers to stone. He'll need a mining camp and palisade walls. And he might need palisade walls here. Yo is just going to be buying food. Now... what a lot of players do in Yo's position is they go for the fast range, they go for the fast archers, they try and like go for the counter damage because they've taken a lot of damage. Yo never does that. Yo's happy to just chill and still think he can get to Castle Age somehow. How is there not a hole there? There must be a tree we can't see. It looks like there's a hole. Villagers on stone. ACCM is gonna run underneath the TC. Let's go, ACCM. This might not be worth it, but he's down 2 games, and he's got army against no army, so he's just sending everything he's got. I mean, it was more idle time for Yo. It's super messy for Yo, and the units are cheap for ACCM, so I guess this is worth it. I respect the energy. The scouts are just gonna come home. ACCM is garrisoning the villagers after some repairs here. Tower bug happened, so it wasn't attacking right away, but he has to manually click it. Oh, and the tower bug's affecting Yo as well. Both players affected by the tower bug there. A couple patches ago, there was a bug where towers won't automatically attack, and TCs and castles don't sometimes as well. And if that happens, you have to manually click. But you get really used to your units automatically firing. So it's a really frustrating bug. I'd love for them to fix it. They won't fix it before this tournament ends. But all ACCM wants is just to hang out here. He just wants to hang out. He just wants to chill. Keep that tower up, and then he's happy. All Yo wants is to hang out and get to Castle Age. Is that another auto scout from Yo, by the way? Yo still finds the scout for auto scout. That's so freaking funny. I mean, his berries have been taken down. It's a tower rush. He's trying counterattacks, but don't you worry. Auto scout's going to work for Yo. I think he does this more than any other player these days. Yo has to buy stone to play this tower war, and it has not worked out. Skirmishers kill a weak Vil. Yo's not repairing. We'll try this again, but it's risky, man. He is on the berries, though. And ACCM needs the spearman. Do not be surprised if Yo makes it to Castle Age at a competitive time still. He's Saracens. But he is adding archers, and he might add scouts. He might actually play full feudal, which is not the typical Yo approach, but it does feel like he's really far behind, so. Damn, what a sick job from ACCM. To go to stone and continually fight here. And to always have a little bit of army around. This skirms being through has definitely helped, because every time Yo will repair, those skirmishers are attacking the Vils. But there's the archers from Yo. And Yo will kill a spearman. The tower's still an issue, though. Okay, this counterattack could force ACCM into some defensive towers. Maybe you defensive tower your gold, and then you wall this way real quick to protect the rest. He also has to repair. Yeah, you could tell things got chaotic there. He double-clicked all his skirms, which included the skirms on the other side. Just kind of his instinct there. So now his skirms are out of position. Yo's still holding on somehow. We're bringing the scout for those skirms, but now the tower will fire back. But now Yo's tower has more HP. And now the villagers are leaving for ACCM. Can Yo take this tower down? Yo took out 2 Vils. I think that means Yo will shoot this tower down and ACCM has to bail. We also have a counterattack. The archers have killed the spearmen. And ACCM has so many farms right now. He just needs to get to Castle Age. He towers the wood line. His eco's looking pretty good, but he's starting to lose some things on the front. So the tower will get shot down. ACCM is trying another tower here. Yeah, these Vils are never coming home. They're too weak to go home. It would just be such an impossible journey to get home, I guess. Nice tower there from ACCM. Yo lost 2 scouts to it. And Yo won't find damage on the stone because he abandoned the stone, and he won't find damage over here either. Yeah, this is good play. Nice counter tower, though, from Yo. So he stops that forward tower, and now the villagers maybe will come home. I would stonewall in, or at least palisade in, or house wall in this gold. If your Vils are here. Like, why not? And maybe keep the Vils around, then you can go for a siege workshop in Castle Age. What a great forward here from ACCM. Remember, the map is so good for Yo. But the lack of berries slowed down his food eco, and the tower messed up his wood eco, so it was honestly the ideal pressure. You try anything else in this game, I think you have a really tough time. I'm okay with seeing knights or camels from ACCM now. More spears and skirms is good as well, but maybe he just booms a little bit. Maybe we see the second town center. I don't know where the Vils went. Are the Vils back home now? I think the Vils are right here, so I think the Vils are back home. If he just denies the front of Yo's base long term, Yo will have big problems, right? Yo's archers didn't do as much as he would have wanted here with the counterattacks. But I think it was still the right play. Because you had to do something losing Vils. He still has the potential to be sneaky. And thankfully he's Saracen so he can balance out his res. Wow, Yo's really heavy on stone right now. So I was wondering what Yo's army comp was going to be. I think that answers the question. And Yo also has the score lead because of auto scout. Yeah. Here's the scouting for ACCM. So what is that? What is that percentage-wise? Maybe like 40%? 50%? So that gives you 500 score. Yo's auto scout has, I'm going to say 90%. Maybe even getting close to 100 now. So he's got a, roughly speaking, 400 score lead because of just the scouting. And that can influence your mentality, too. Like, that makes you feel pretty confident. Players are looking at that score all the time. Yeah, it's super worth it. It's just wild to me that he prioritized that when everything else was going wrong. At the end of the day, you do just click a button, though, so it's not like you're doing a lot. But still. I don't think ACCM was expecting there to be this big of an army here. But thankfully, he's Byzantine, so we can see it. He's pressuring this wood line. Yo immediately relocates. And Yo sees that there's knights, but he didn't realize there was a hole there. And the knights are going to run underneath the town center. And oh, that's so annoying for Yo. If he had that full walled, it would have been fine. He'd probably get the castle, and maybe Mamelukes would be enough. But the knights get through from ACCM. He runs under with the skirms as well. Why not? Just so much more aggression from ACCM this game. He doesn't need the stone on the back, so that's not a big issue. At least as of yet. And Yo's going for a castle. Nice shot from him not to lose more. He still only lost one, but there's so many weak bills here. Oh, God. Okay, so he loses another. He'll make a camel. That will clear this. Yo wants a castle. I think he'll delete this house, and I think he'll place this castle out here, so at least it gives him protection in that area. But maybe he actually needs a castle here. Maybe this is an issue soon. Okay, interesting. So he town centers here. So that protects this side, protects the gold. Still feels like he wants a castle. Also, hello, Auto Scout. Goodbye, Auto Scout. Where is Yo going to place this castle? He takes down the two knights that are on the opposite side of the house. It looks like he wants to try and go forward. But, dude, like, ACCM will see that because of his buildings. There's no way he's going to try and sneak up a... Okay, that's good, I guess. Actually, if it completes, it'll slowly take down the archer range in the barracks. But ACCM sees you, Yo. You have to wall this, man. This needs to be walled. No mistakes. No mistakes. Houses, palisades. He waits for the last second. But he gets the houses. He gets the palisades. Castle's going to go up. Well played, Yo. Yeah, castle will be up. All right, so Yo's only behind by 10 vills. His economy's okay. It's 2 town centers for both. It'll be 3 TCs for ACCM once he gets there. But ACCM will need to have military that beats Mamelukes. But that's not going to be easy, because Mamelukes, pretty good unit against other camels. I still think you just make your own camels because they're cheap. Make the discount camels and make some monks, and then you're fine. But Mr. Yo's really good with mobile cav, and this is a mobile ranged cav, so it's a whole different animal now. Someone asked, did T90 explain why Mr. Yo performs so well historically against ACCM? I mean, I think it's just the style clash. They're very similar players, but Yo's just better at defending than ACCM. ACCM typically wants to play like this, with a bit more aggression, and thus far, he's had a really tough time getting the value. That's good value, though. That's really good value. That's worth it. Especially when you know you already have your 3rd TC up. It's definitely worth it. And again, the army's cheap, so we might see a lot of camels die for ACCM, but he should be fine. But you say he should be fine. It's not that simple, right? I think now you need to play around a castle here. A castle here would be ideal because it's further forward, denies the gold, and then you go imp to trev that down. But yeah, I would just make your own camels. I don't hate this either. A bit of a push just to distract Yo, so Yo can't be as relaxed as he was in the previous games. 4th TC now for ACCM. He'll have 3 relics. This has been a great game from him. Still denying this TC. But it's 6 Mamelukes now, so... So Mamelukes do, they do good damage against the camels. The camels, if they hit the Mamelukes, will still do decent damage to the Mamelukes, too. This is going to start to get pretty worrying now. Everything else is still looking pretty good from ACCM. You might get the 4th relic there. He's got the ram coming in here. I would say the middle castle is still going to be the most critical thing. And Yo's Mamelukes can't counterattack because of this army now. So this is an army that probably won't kill too much more than houses, but it keeps Yo busy. ACCM, does he go now to drop the castle here? He's got so much vision. It's so good. Hey, loses the ram. We'll lose a camel. That was funny. That camel took damage from the Mamelukes after it became a blue camel. Feels like you got to bring the Vils right now. Because Yo has to respect the flag on the Siege Workshop and think that could be a mangonel. So he can't leave it until this TC is up. I would want to bring the Vils now. And just castle here. Feels like he believes he can take the fight. That is 14 camels. Yo with 1 monk wants the conversion. He doesn't get it. And the other monk wasn't ready. He doesn't get that either. And now the ram is out. And now we got monks from ACCM on the other side. 20 villager lead already. The confidence from ACCM. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Little too confident. The Mamelukes will take the monks. That's not good. That's not good. Denying the TC is still really good, though. Losing the camels isn't good. But they're cheap. It's fine. And ACCM's gonna castle here, bro. What? See, I'm still scared of the Mamelukes, so I would not want to be near the Mamelukes. I'd want to be castling over here. Because you don't want this castle to be denied. But he is still producing more. He's still got 4 town centers producing behind this. And he's bringing a lot of Vils. It feels like it's very messy right now for Yo. Mangonel needs to relocate, but Yo probably can't kill the army and deny the castle. That castle is right smack in between both golds. That's perfect. The only thing that would make it better is if you're on a hill, which is why I prefer this side for the Treb War. But it probably won't matter. Then you can go imp. Yo can't because he needs more Mamelukes. Yo just can't get any control over this game right now. ACCM sees the left side with some monks. Has the right side in the middle all defended. Look at the vision he has right now. I think Yo knows this means Imperial Age is incoming, so he's trying a crazy forward castle to try and come back. Which isn't a horrible play, of course. I mean, he's going to die otherwise. But if ACCM sees it, then he can just kill it, because that's not where Yo has his army. Yeah, here come the Vils. ACCM sees it. Yo wants to castle that town center. ACCM's aware. The camels are coming back. Yo's castle is being relocated now. Uh-oh. The camels are gone, Yo. You need to get your Mamelukes over here. Oh, God. Yeah, camels are coming over. Good awareness from ACCM. Great job. And now, he can attack here, and he can just take the hill, which is what I think he was going to do in the first place. Monks are around as well. Yeah, this is fine. I think Yo taps out once he sees Imperial Age. He might even tap out now. Yeah, he taps out now. GG. Damn. So, I mean, game number 1 and game number 2, it was just this defensive, full wall style from Yo. He played towards Imperial Age with some clean economy, and he pretty much had no problems. But in this game, ACCM went forward, and Yo had a lot of TC idle time, and Yo really struggled getting going here. Well played. I like the lame from ACCM. Stealing that extra sheep plays its role, but I really like the forward. And like we said, while that map's a good full wall map, at least the berries are forward. Losing your berries and then having to tower your wood line is so rough, because at that time, you need food and you need wood, and both those resources got hit. Also, was a really nice shot from ACCM behind this, guys. Look at this economy. His economy is expanded everywhere. I love the vision around the map. I love the relics. I love the amount of camels he made. A lot of people are way too shy against the Mamelukes, and they don't recognize that they can still spam those sheep camels to at least keep them busy. So, the fastest Yo versus ACCM game ever. Yeah. 40-minute game. Holy. Now, I'm sure they played some faster ones, but yeah, ACCM, he just needs more of that. And I think he could do it with Koreans again. He can do the same exact build with Koreans. Some of the other matchups is a little bit more complicated, though. Persians for ACCM. This is his number 1 pick. He's down 2-1. Has to win this one, I'd say. Will be a really tough uphill battle otherwise. Yo's got Mongols, Vietnamese, and his number 1 pick, Georgians, which I'm still kind of curious on. I'm still not sure that's necessarily first pick worthy, but I like that civ. And I know Yo likes that civ. Yo goes for one of his later picks. We have Burgundians here. And Burgundians have been seeing a lot more play on Arabia than I was expecting. I think part of that is because of the recent change where you can make some Flemish militia and feudal. But the other part of that is the variance of the maps. What you would want with the Burgundians is one of those maps that you can easily wall up. Wall up, safe resources, kind of like the previous map, but this is not one of them. So this definitely makes it a little more difficult to play the Burgundians. Yo took a risk, and as he looks around his map and sees all the hills and sees his wood lines, he might not be a fan. Also, sheep is... he'll manage it, but Dark Age is getting a little awkward here. Now, it is 4 deer. So if it's 4 deer in a clump like that, that's good for Burgundians. You want the early eco upgrades. Doing that when you only have a generation with 1 or 2 deer is tough. But I mean, the additional deer also should be over on ACCM side. And ACCM just found them and will push them in. Persians are a good cav civ, but I think I'd like to see man-at-arms for ACCM here. And while, yeah, he could eventually wall between all these wood lines, this is just way too much walling for the early game. So I think it's just a really good map to be aggressive on. Thus far, he's late to wood. He's brought in a lot of food, so maybe not. But you can still get away with it with Persians, starting with the extra food and the extra gold. DeLuca, thanks for the 27. Beninjo, thank you for the prime. Welcome, guys. Man, I think I've come to the conclusion over the last 48 hours that I might be addicted, just like a little bit addicted. Not to Age of Empires. We all know that. That's not a surprise. But also to caffeine. Maybe. I say this because yesterday I went to go get some coffee, and I didn't have any coffee in my house. And I was like, crap. That sucks. And I was like, okay, I'll just get an energy drink. And then I didn't have any energy drinks. And then I just got really sad. And I just, you know, it was a struggle for me. I'm realizing that maybe means I'm a bit dependent on it. So, I don't drink that much, but casting without it is really tough for me, man. This is not the normal energy level for me. This is me, not at my maximum, but close to it. So, anyways, I bring this up, again, not an addict. I bring this up because we should have groceries in the house now, and so I should be able to go downstairs and get one. Fiance got groceries, which means there might also be some coffee or something, which sounds good. It will not be man-at-arms for ACCM. This will just be fast feudal and most likely scouts. And both players just pushing in their deer for now, so. Rich the King says addiction is no joke, and he's talking about how he got addicted to orange juice. That's a new one, dude. I'm not trying to laugh at your problems, but I was not expecting, when someone said they relate and addiction is no joke, I was not expecting them to say, addiction is no joke. I got addicted to orange juice when I was little. I've never heard that one before. But, okay. Yeah, final deer getting pushed in. Double lumber camp for ACCM. Now, the double lumber camp means you're slower to your opening. So this can delay your barracks and your archer range. But when you have the tiny wood lines like this, and you're planning on playing full army, if you play small wall, so just a couple palisades around both wood lines, in mid-feudal, your position gets really strong. I'm not sure if I love it, because I feel like this does delay your potential for early pressure, which you might want in this matchup. And Yo is already getting some full walls down, but there's still a lot of work to do for Yo to be completely walled here, so. Horde says I'm addicted to T90 streams. Nice, nice. See, I like that one, man. That's a good addiction. Thank you, guys. If anyone is currently watching from work, what you should probably do in case they find out, you know, you're not working right now, is you should say, I'm addicted to work. It's the best place ever. Smiley face or something. You should just toss that out there just in case. Because who knows? Maybe they know. Maybe you're like, they're aware, but they haven't said anything yet. Just save yourself. That'd be my advice. Walls are there for Yo on the left half of his base, kind of the front half of his base. Yo's still sitting at home. He's being really greedy. He's being really greedy. This is not the gen you want with Burgundians, but he's taking the risk to get those walls down anyways, because he knows that's what his civ needs. Again, the stable was late for ACCM because of this 2 lumber camp builds. It's not horrible, but Yo's scout just chasing him off. ACCM is seeing the walls. Yeah, he sees all the walls there. He also gets to see the berries are on the front. He sees where the gold is. And Yo will start to add some spears here. The T90, if you streamed on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, it would help bypass the firewall. So I have heard. All right, noted, dude. Noted. We have to do some research on which one is easier to get past the firewall. Yeah, multi-streaming on YouTube consistently is not something that I see myself doing. I don't want to get into it. There's just some reasons. But for some of my events, I will be streaming on YouTube. I'm still kind of on the fence about Titans League. We'll see. But more information to come on that at some point. Wow, no loom for ACCM. No loom. Until now. But so he really was greeting it up there a little bit. Just working with that extra vill. But Burgundian walls are going to be down. This is exactly what Yo couldn't do in the previous game, right? Previous game, he took damage. Here, he's got his upgrades. I don't know how Yo makes it look so easy. I feel like in some ways, ACCM should have punished this more. But like I said, I think maybe Man-at-Arms would have been the best opening against this map. He didn't know what Yo's map looked like. And he was expecting Yo to have to play open here. Still, that's a really nice starting engagement for ACCM. Yo now has 2 Flemish militia, a spearman, some skirms. Just not quite the big enough army for ACCM to fight this yet. ACCM slightly ahead in resources collected. And Yo probably will not be offensive at all here. I think he's just going to chill. He doesn't know what he could do yet. He's barely scouted ACCM's base. He'll find the walling villager here. Still knows his berries are vulnerable. Both players pretty low on farms right now. But that's kind of by design. For ACCM, he's gone for the fast scouts and now the fast archers. And even built a blacksmith for fletching. Yo also is getting fletching, but just a tiny little AI army right now. But it's the Flemish militia that are key. Because they've got the 5 base attack. they're pretty good against the scouts, and they're a bit tankier against the archers than spearmen are. Yo, just falling back again. Remember, he's in feudal age with Bosal. That's the Burgundian bonus. And Yo gets a nice archer snipe there. Even bringing the spearmen around, too. Farm count up to 8 now. So 8 farms for him. We've got 9 farms for ACCM. Just 2 kills. Chat, do you think that Yo will go to stone on the way to Castle Age or in feudal age here? Because when I see Yo play this Civ in old meta, he's always wanted to get to the unique unit. Yo's always loved Cav unique units. We saw Mamelukes in the previous game, but that was a product of the situation. I could see him trying to play Coustilier. Build a castle on the front. It would command a lot of respect, and ACCM might make a bunch of army, and then sometimes Yo just makes 1 or 2 units out of the castle, and then he stops. Yeah, speaking of addictions, Yo is addicted to unique units. He needs some help. I don't know if there's a cure for it, though. I guess the cure is water maps. Which is why he never plays water maps. Bloodlines is about to complete for ACCM scouts, so again, he's looking for a bit more tankiness to the army. But there still just always feels like there's just enough from Yo to hold this. He's finished with the berries. But just leave that forage bush there as part of that wall. I don't really trust that. I feel like there's definitely a hole there, but Yo never has holes in his wall, so I'm sure he's fine, and Yo snipes an archer. Yeah, Persians can compete economically. Where Persians will struggle, though, is with the military options. This Flemish militia skirm play is actually really tough to engage into. And so far, the archers haven't done a ton. ACCM needs to clear this to be happy with it. He's invested a lot more. He went for bloodlines, and it will pay off, I guess, because he kills the Flemish militia, and now he'll chase down the skirms. That was big army investment there from ACCM. But you lose that fight, and then Yo can change his whole approach. So I think that's probably worth it. He sees the spearman now. He snipes that as well. Well played. I'd say stop producing scouts at this point. You've already done enough damage with the scouts. Maybe apply some pressure on the gold. Ooh. Okay, there goes Yo to stone. So I was right on that. I think he might even need a tower here, but I guess he can also make a skirmisher or 2 behind. ACCM will know. Like, I didn't just bring it up randomly. The fact that this stone is back here and that it's Yo, ACCM will probably expect that. I think if you expect it, you have to do as much damage as possible before the castle comes up, which he's already doing a good job of. But then the other part of it, maybe your long-term army comp is actually cav archers here. At least in Castle Age, cav archers are mobile, so they can keep up with it. They're ranged to fire over the walls for now. Pretty confident approach from ACCM. He's not fully walled. He still has time for that. But full house wall and market wall over here. Yo is on the way to Castle Age. Yo, Rich, thank you for the 10 gifted, man. So sorry about the orange juice addiction. I wasn't trying to make fun of you for that, but that was just a new one. I think that was you, so best of luck with the journey, my friend. I think he said that was when he was younger, so. So Yo just moves back here to this gold. Yo's been on the stone for a minute. And Yo's going to get that castle up, guys. Yo's most likely going to be able to build the castle right away. He can build the castle here so it partially protects the gold. Yo does know this gold is back here, but he doesn't know that Yo is on that gold. I find that some players will just fight so much to never have to leave a resource, right? They'll stay here and they'll micro. It was the same with the woodline in the previous game. Yo will just shift to another woodline or gold so fast. He doesn't mess around with that. I guess he just respects ACCM's micro, and here he knows this could be open if it's just palisades, so a couple stone walls. And now I think we'll just bring the Vills back this way. And then he'll just plan to drop the castle on the front. Also, is that auto scout again? Please tell me that's auto scout. How does he do it? Every single game, bro. He's always got a random weak scout just wandering around. It's funny, but more people need to do it. It's really strong. Like, vision on the map, boost your score, like we've said, but is always going to be helpful later on with the relics and with the golds. Yeah, Yo's castle will go up, and he's got this properly calculated. And now I wonder what ACCM will do. Okay, so now ACCM is going to full boom. It will go second TC, third TC. His base is not fully walled, though. I've seen these situations before, and it just normally doesn't go very well for the people against Yo. Despite all the bonuses, too. Like, Persians will have a big Vil lead. Big eco lead. Already ahead in res collected. Yo just does a really good job at adapting out of these situations. But normally, he doesn't stay on stone. Normally, he drops the second town center as well. This feels like Yo's going to play multi-castle army. So maybe he goes castle into a forward castle. More houses coming down to protect. Yo should see knights now. He can click the units and check the upgrades here. Yo's still fine. The skirms can hit the archers. Yo's still fine. If this was Vivi or someone, I would not be surprised by the multi-castle unique unit. But normally Yo's got good eco as well. So this unit's got a charge attack. The first attack is really strong, and then that you have to get back to the charge. So first hit is 8 plus 21. Yo's usually pretty patient with this. And he'll take the archers. I guess archers will kill any of his monks. You might want to take the light cav next as well. And what in the world is happening with those units? Do you see that grouping? That was odd. He also never made a stable, so I don't think he can get husbandry yet. So it really needs that. Yo is getting this relic. There's the stable for husbandry, and there is a relic back here too, so that's not bad. But look at the stone count, man. Like, he's got enough for the castle already. And so that might seem like a good thing. Like, oh, you know, how can it be bad? Yo has enough stone for a castle. But he's been collecting resources to get to a castle, and he doesn't have the position or the timing yet. So that could have been another resource. Here come the villagers. Light cap from ACCM on the prowl. All ACCM's locked right now, guys. I love this. Light cav is on this relic. I love that. He'll see the castle. He does, after I say he's locked in, lose 2 units to conversions, though. And now his light cav could die. And now the castle for Yo is being quick-walled. And Yo's got a big army here. That is such a crazy castle from Yo. My goodness. But Yo will get it up. Yo will complete it. I think ACCM tried to do a little bit too much there. I think you just leave that one light cav and just never look at it again and hope you kill the monk. 70 vills for ACCM, going for his 4th town center now. Oh, boy. Yo's still on 1 town center. This is going to be all-in Castle Age with Custilier. Just full snowball attempt. And, I mean, Persians have camels. So camels can match that all right, I guess. Also, the stone wall's up too. I would like to see a castle defensively in the plans for ACCM. I mean, Yo can't do any immediate damage with this army. But Yo will go pikeman as well. Credit to ACCM. A lot of pressure here. A lot of continuous pressure. And also a lot of confidence. Like, he's shown a lot of confidence to add this much economy behind this. Normally, if you think the unit's better on the other side, you really up the numbers. But I guess he's done both really well. This is now not a fight that he can take easily, though. This gets dangerous. Very easy for someone 30 vills ahead here to lose the game. Hi. I'm T90. I've done that a lot before. Smiley face. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about, man. One mistake, and then you start to tilt a little bit. Yo is ready for conversions on the backside. He runs through. He'll take the monk. He can maybe take another monk. He's taking the units right now. He didn't know the monks were there. And now he takes the monks. Okay. I mean, see, that might not seem awful for ACCM because he still has units to defend. And he still has some units here as well. But Yo will have pikes and Yo will have enough stone for a forward castle. So if Yo wins any fights or takes ACCM into the back, he wants a castle on the front. He doesn't win the fight there. The fight here is acceptable for ACCM. It's acceptable. ACCM's holding. What could have happened there is that army from Yo could have run around. If he was running around in the back, ACCM wouldn't get the fight, and ACCM couldn't bring these units out. But ACCM can bring his units forward now, and he wants a castle in the middle. And I feel like Yo's going to have to try and stop this. This is where Yo wanted a castle. Can he see it? He can't see it. Damn, that's crazy. All right, well, there's the foundation. He does have pikes. There's not many villagers building this, but pikes don't really kill villagers that quickly. The Coustelier do. Yeah, the fight will just be taken. ACCM also has a Scorpion. He just needs to complete the castle. As long as the castle's completed, everything's fine here. And the pikemen weren't enough. Castle will go up. Well played, ACCM. He's got a sick eco lead. I don't see what Yo does now. Getting to the castles is expensive. 2 early castles like that many unique units, and a pikeman switch, it's costly. And so you need the fights to actually work for you. And they just have not. 5 TCs is a bit much, but this is so exposed. I'd like this to be a town center for ACCM. I think that's what he's planning on. Yeah, like, normally you don't want to go for that big of a boom, but Yo is going to try and go somewhere else. He's not in the north. He's likely to come to the south. ACCM's just thinking about the game so well right now. He knows that Yo will try and raid down here. He has his units prepared. A little raid from him there as well, and yeah, TC's completed there. He'll probably click up to Imp. Yo maybe will come over here if he could take a big fight and castle drop this. That's what Yo wanted. He wanted a big engagement, castle drop on his face. You can't drop it there. You can't go Imperial Age. You have to drop the castle here. This has to be his goal, right? Stone and come again. And maybe that was the issue. Maybe he didn't need to make that much army. But I think Yo will be surprised to know that ACCM has made this many builds. Maybe not by now, but like, I think in early castle, he did not expect ACCM to have the TCs and the army. When he saw that much army, he thought that it was 1 TC or 2, maybe. And so Yo thought he'd maybe only be behind by like 20 bills, not 40. Okay, this is danger mode for this area right here. I'd be surprised if Yo isn't sending the vills forward. This is deja vu for me. This is just me watching Yo for a third of my life play AoE 2. I'm just waiting for the vills. I'd be shocked if it doesn't happen, but it's not happening. It's still not happening. Oh, he's going to castle here? Huh? What? All right, so I guess he wants to castle here, and then he wants to ram push this back because he knows ACCM's on the way to Imp. That was not where I expected the castle to go, and it's not where I expected the castle to go because I don't think it's going to work out. He's got quick walls. Castle's only at 60%. He does bring the pikemen over. Maybe the castle completes for Yo, I guess, with the pikemen. But that's fine for ACCM. He'll lose some units, but he can afford to lose them. Just waits for Imp. Waits for Trebs. Yo needs to take this castle out right now. ACCM will now come this way, build another castle. He's getting Cavalier and he's getting armor. Yo does have the bigger army. And ACCM's army isn't an imp army until these upgrades complete. But it just feels like he's a little late, right? He's just now loading up the rams. ACCM just needs to be careful not to overboom here. He'll mix in his own pikes, and he can go for Halb. He got 5 relics this game, guys. 5. Beastly performance from ACCM. Yeah, Cavalier. Once Cavalier's in, I think it's acceptable to take the fight. You have to try and take the fight. You're fully popped as well, so... Oh, he's making an elephant. Here we go. Elephant hype. Vils will probably come to repair this castle. Monks are converting on both sides. The Cavalier aren't really getting surrounded by pikemen, so far so good there. There's now an elephant in the choke point too. Murder holes! So funny how pros never researched that in advance. Murder holes 10 seconds away. Will the castle stay up for ACCM? That's a lot of military. That is a lot of pikemen. And there's a lot of Coustilier, but the elephant's in there. He's tanking. And it just doesn't feel like Yo has quite enough to easily push past this, even if he takes the castle down. He might not. The castle already has 13 kills for ACCM. He trebs down Yo's castle. Oh my god, it's so close. It went down to 50 HP. 30 HP. 20 HP. It dies. But I think it would just be replaced with another one. No, not Yo's! GG. Yeah, what I thought would happen there is ACCM will lose his castle. He'd be like, oh crap, buy another one. Boom. And then Yo drops a castle there. I mean, Yo realized he was behind and he needed to take some big fights and he needed to push that in Castle Age. The big thing for me, though, was the supersonic boom from ACCM behind this. That was crazy. To see your opponent goes for a castle like that, know your opponent is Mr. Yo, and say, oh, I'll just boom. I'll boom and I'll hold the whole map and I'll get 5 relics. How does that happen? That is usually not possible at all. But I think for Yo, it didn't feel like the timings really fit. And it goes back to his approach in early Castle Age. He had 7 on wood and he still had 10 on stone. I think you need to completely shift off stone there. Just produce out of 1 castle. Get a second, third TC. And then you could still have decent unit numbers. You could still switch to pikemen, but you're not that far behind economically. The double castle approach was just a little too extreme on the eco. And ACCM ties it up, guys. So 2-2. As good a series as advertised so far. It's been back and forth. I also like how ACCM has been he was able to make it to the Imperial Age way faster than Yo the last 2 games. When in the first 2 games, he was dying in Imp. So he's corrected something. All right, I expect some big lames here. We got game 5. So often in these best of 7s, the winner of game number 5 has such a big mental lead at the very least, right? And Yo goes for Vietnamese. So he knows exactly where ACCM is. And ACCM also moving forward. But ACCM doesn't have the Vietnamese bonus, right? So he's hoping to find something. He knows it's going to be a lame game. Yo is honed in right now. Is looking for boars. Thankfully for ACCM, Yo is going this direction. He won't find this boar. But both players are crossing their fingers and hoping right now. And no! ACCM misses the boar and the 2 sheep. Okay, he'll find the sheep. That's good. And now Yo's coming back this way and... Oh my god. Okay, will it move? Will it move? I'm going to guess it's going to move. It's going to move more to the right. Yo does find some sheep. Yo also missed this boar. I don't think he would steal this one. But so far, he's boarless. Okay, he's no longer bored. Here we go. He sees it. Will he steal it? It's a little late in the game for a steal. Maybe ACCM is around. He will steal it. So far, assuming he gets this lame, it'll be 2 sheep and the boar. And ACCM might have known it was there. I'm not entirely sure. But his scout is this way now. He would have to look in the fog of war. He'd have to wait for the boar to appear. He'd have to get lucky here. He did not find a boar himself. Yo's boar was on the back. Yo's still bringing that in. And hey, that's not bad, actually. This could have been way worse for ACCM. He gets lucky. He ends up finding his sheep. So in the end, he'll steal 2 sheep. He'll regain these sheep. There aren't many deer around to push in. So the Lamings make things more complicated. But there is a deer here. And there's a deer here. So he can get the food. Obviously, advantage to Yo because he will have 3 boars. But then Yo is down sheep. In fact, Yo didn't even find these 2 sheep back here. So Yo is pretty much sheepless right now. So I think it's even. Thank you, Bruder, for the 11 months. He says, order some food for your fiance. Yeah, true. So she's sick. What should I order if she's sick? I got stuff for grilled cheese, and I got her soup. Because when I'm sick, I always want soup and grilled cheese for whatever reason. Because I think it's because it's what my parents would make for me when I was a kid. I can't make her that right now. But I'm going to order a coffee. There's not really something from a coffee place that I could get her. Oh, let me text her and see. I don't know where she is right now. She should be around the house. I'm going to order a coffee. Would you like anything? Chat says they're paying. Thanks in advance, chat. Let's see what she says. She'll be like, I'll take 25 iced vanilla lattes. What, chat's paying? I'll take 30 egg McMuffin. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. We won't do that to you, chat. Hey, we got gifted subs as I was doing that. Thank you, Azalor. I was kidding. Thank you. So, as far as the Civ goes, okay, as far as the matchup and their bonuses, both Civs have really good adaptability in terms of their units, but Vietnamese are better economically. Cheaper and faster researching eco upgrades is really good. So I think that combined with the fact that Yo has been able to get the boar means that he's got the more potential here. If he didn't have cheaper eco upgrades, even with the 3 boars, justifying man-at-arms here would be really tough. Now, earlier today, ACCM had a win with a forward, with cheap spears and cheap skirms. And after that, I said he could do that one more time, and he could do it with Koreans. Because you have the cheaper units here, and also they have the good towers. He doesn't know what he's wandering into. He knows the berries are on the front, so he wants to do the same thing and pressure the berries, but there's a barracks there with militia, and Yo might walk right into this. This could be really bad for ACCM. To try the spear skirm forward is pretty risky after you get lamed like that, but usually Yo would like to go scouts. And, oh, man, Yo sees the scout, Yo sees the barracks, and I think ACCM is bailing on the idea now. Honestly, this could have been way worse for ACCM. Because had he been building the archer range out here, and then the militia showed up, he would probably lose the villagers, maybe lose the game. So he falls back home. Able to see a lot with the Korean line of sight on the vills. Couple walls, defensive archer range. But Mr. Yo will already feel like that's a little bit of a win, right? More quick walls needed on the berries. This villager's on the other side of the berries, though, so that's awkward. ACCM makes the first skirmisher. He'll wait for a bigger skirm mass, and there's the archer range follow-up for Yo. But Yo didn't get double bid X. So, and he has no food underneath the TC, so things are not looking too peachy back here. Also, what happened to the Vill that was in there? Huh? It probably just got pulled away somewhere. I thought he had a villager here and then a villager here. I thought he had 2 Vills, and now there's... Now he's gone. I need to... Actually, I want to see that. What happened? Oh, okay. So she was in there, and then she left. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that the villager wasn't deleted or something. Yeah, I think ACCM's positions, it's all right. None of this feels great, but the fact that Yo doesn't have double bid X right now, and that's a discounted upgrade is pretty crazy. Unfortunately, it's not cheaper with food, though. It just costs no wood. So he has the wood. He needs the food for that. And has to choose the villagers for now. This is the second series, I think, that ACCM has had to play against the Vietnamese as someone who is Vietnamese. Didn't that happen against MVL as well? I recall telling a story about how ACCM used to play with Vietnamese before they were good. Just for the little hometown pride. Yo was smart. He banned Chinese. That way ACCM couldn't do the same to him. Next level strats. Will Yo remember he doesn't have double bid X? Because at this point, he should be able to drop off and snag that. Maybe he clicked it. Maybe he thinks he has it. That could be the full feudal age without that upgrade. His eco otherwise is really good still. And Yo answers the question. Villager has a death wish. Wanders a little too far to the man-at-arms. Yo is hoping to sneak these archers here. But for these archers to sneak and get value, he needs ACCM to chase him right now. And Yo's like, come here, bro. Come here, bro. Follow me, man. You're going to get the kill. It's an easy kill for you. Super easy. Go ahead. Kill me, please. And he's sneaking. This is just classic Yo. This is classic Yo. And I think ACCM kind of has to chase because he's trying to wall here as well. So Yo sneaking with the archers. No one, when they have this many Korean skirmishers, is expecting archers to ever be a threat. But the archers appear. ACCM reacts right away, though. That was a crazy reaction. He can be fine now. He has more skirms. Over here as well, he's hitting and running pretty perfectly. So he can defend the walls there too. That was impressive from ACCM. I expected that villager to go down. It doesn't even matter that Yo doesn't have the upgrades. You're just not expecting there to ever be any units there. The scout and the two archers should get the kill. And then here as well, look at the quick walls. Guys, ACCM is really playing sharp right now. Quick walls, he's fine. Feels like things are trending towards Castle Age now. The golds are really not good for ACCM. Like, these golds are just horrible. Now that we really have a chance to look at his map is significantly worse in my opinion. Don't give Yo a weak scout. No, no, not Yo. No, it's auto scout time. Oh, Yo is going to scout the whole map again. Not again. That's funny. Full walls from Yo. He'll be happy with his eco. And he'll be happy with his base. He's got 2 back golds. He's got back stone. Look how much ACCM is walled, and look how exposed his golds are. This is just crazy difference. He would have really wanted the aggression here, but he does have 12 skirms. Yo just has 1. So Yo could go knights in the next stage. But also, we've been seeing a lot of fire lancers. Koreans and Vietnamese can do it. So wondering if maybe he'll build the second barracks. We might see the siege tower fire lancer cheese. Yo will not auto scout just yet. He's just double checking to see if he's walled. He sees there is no hole. And now he'll send that scout around the map. All right. Before this gets crazier, has she responded? She hasn't responded. Well, now I'm torn because I want to order a coffee, but I feel like I should get her something. She might be like napping. She might nap for the next 3 hours. I'm gonna get her something. And I'm gonna try and order a coffee here as well. I'll get her like a, I don't know, a breakfast sandwich or something. All right. Tower rush from ACCM. He knows that Yo is on the way up. This is a good play with the Koreans. And he does have safe stone at least. So even if you complete 2 towers here, and you just keep them up, that's guard tower pressure on the front. Makes life awkward for Yo. Mr. Yo. Look, did you see what just happened there? He placed the mining camp here, and then he said, wait a second. Don't I have safer stone? And moved back here. So good awareness. He actually builds... he builds a wall there So ACCM doesn't tower hop. Damn, that's awesome. Tower hop is such a rare thing these days. Honestly, tower rushing is such a rare thing these days. It's been refreshing to see towers from ACCM today. But yeah, that tower just gets shot down. But that does mean that Yo can't build a counter tower over here, right? But he's got to build that quickly before the siege comes out. He just walks right over to the wood line. He's not messing around at all. Thank you, Emperor. I don't know if I'm ever going to have a chance to order this. I should have done it at the start of the game, I guess. But yeah, I have a nice little coffee here. We have another best of 7 after this. Hart was in chat like 20 minutes ago. He said, I don't know why I woke up early today. I should have slept in. Hart, when you saw it was ACCM versus Yo, you should have known you guys aren't playing until tomorrow, man. But yeah, poor Hart is just sitting around. Hera's waiting around for their next series right now. I think whether or not this tower stays up and this little push starts to grow really decides this game. Because if Yo can start to siege push this back, then suddenly he can counterattack and he can pressure ACCM's wide open base. Again, this gold is not looking good. He does have a tower there. But guard tower upgrade will be in 8 seconds. But a lot of the tower HP has already gone down. That's not ideal. Half the tower is already gone. But okay, now guard tower's in. Does Yo hang around? Does ACCM start to repair this? Does he believe he can kill this? Normally a guard tower kills one mangonel, but it's weak. I think you need to repair if you're ACCM with 1 Vil. Or maybe he's fine and this will go down once Spodkin's in, but yeah, he bails on it. I think he could have tried to hold on to that, but it would have been risky. He still has the Vils, could potentially build more. We'll see a couple Fire Lancers. We see the second TC from ACCM. Yo still on 1 TC. So no big boom for Yo. And Yo also, his eco's kind of imbalanced right now, guys. He also is late to eco upgrades that, again, are cheaper with his Civ. I think he's really paranoid that this is going to be a push, like a continuous all-in push. But ACCM's actually just going to just drop some town centers and chill for now. At T90, do pros run practice games on tournament days to stay warm or refrain to avoid mental fatigue? Big shot. It depends. Depends on the individual. I find that a lot of the classic pros who have been around a really long time, they don't do warm-up games anymore. Like Yo notoriously, warm-up game is game number 1 for Yo. But some people will. It depends on what it is as well, right? I don't think that anyone's going to look at Arabia and think they necessarily need a warm-up game, but maybe they'll play a Dark Age or a little feudal build. But in best of 7s and best of 9s, I feel like it becomes a stamina conversation right beyond game 4. So as much as I feel like you want to warm up, I stop doing so I would stop doing so in things like this. I don't really play too many best of 7s. I unfortunately lose before the best of 7s, but even for a best of 5, there's no way. I don't warm up. This is funny. Watch this. Yo will see this. He'll think, oh crap, it's a mangonel. I have to run away. But it's a siege tower. So he's scared about this. He also didn't see the barracks has a flag on it, so he also doesn't see the tower on time. And there's a little tower rush still out here from ACCM, so maybe there will be a siege push. It's siege tower fire lancer time, guys. This probably will be changed at some point. I don't know what will be changed, but I would say the speed is comical. That the speed is absolutely ridiculous. But there he goes. Choo-choo, baby. There he goes, chasing down the skirm army. And third town center for ACCM. Who still is starting to just build up these little towers around Yo's base. There's a knight there for Yo. He just finds a couple skirms, but ACCM can make fire lancers. Yo wants to kill the villager. Ooh, that would be really nice if he could kill that Vil. And oh my god, ACCM gets the quick walls. Perfect timing. And then the siege tower's on the way as well. Choo-choo! Siege tower incoming. This could lead to a siege push onto the town center where Yo's taking stone. And then over here... Ooh, Yo sees the Vils and is running to go kill them. But the Fire Lancers have been siege towered over. Oh no! That was a big mistake from ACCM. ACCM decided to use the siege tower for what it was actually designed for and decided to send the units over top of the enemy walls. What a horrible mistake. That's not what a siege tower is for. A siege tower is a taxi. Oh, man. Well, had he stayed in here, he could have maybe rolled over this way to save these villagers, but all three of those villagers are dead. The tower does go up for ACCM. It does force some idle time, and he is building another tower now. So I was joking. I actually think this was worth it. I still have had no chance to actually order my coffee, so just remind me in between games, guys. I should be focused up here. I feel like Yo might want to bypass all these towers and just go to the middle hill. Because if you give this too much power, man, if you start to build castles on the sides because you're getting tower, there's just going to be more towers, and you're giving ACCM a lot of time to take control over the game. Now, I don't know how you necessarily take control of the middle when there's siege towers with Fire Lancers, unless you want to join the club and make your own Fire Lancers in siege towers and roll out to take the siege, I guess. Here he goes. The siege tower's wheeling around. It's just it's a good amount of pressure from ACCM. I know Yo's got relics. I know that Yo's a god in late game and Vietnamese are one of the best late game civs, but this is a lot of pressure. Also, Barracks is researching Squires, which makes the infantry faster, and the Barracks will be denied. And also, you can't produce Fire Lancers if you lose your Barracks. All right, one of the Lancers gets converted. But ACCM probably feeling pretty good right now. These towers are in really good positions. And these towers are in really good positions, but he might need to keep those up. Knights will dive in. The siege tower arrives, and the Lancers just hop out of the tower immediately to greet the Knights, and then back inside. And now Siege will push this TC. Oh, man, this is so good for ACCM. Look at the vision, too. He knows that what Yo's going to do. But, guys, Yo sees the outpost, so he is going to run around the outpost. I don't know if ACCM notices those vills. You see that. This is for a forward castle. Did ACCM notice that? Because if... Oh, dude, this is what we're saying, man. This is what I've been talking about. If you just ignore the towers and go for his base, there's nothing there. Big fight here. That's a good engagement for Yo. He takes down most of the siege, and now Yo is building a castle there. ACCM sees it. He's got to go with instinct now, and he wants a guard tower to deny it, and Yo bails. Oh, man. I think Yo could have gotten away with it, but he didn't bring that many vills. He only brought 8 vills. ACCM cancels his tower. ACCM will add more Fire Lancers. So it's Fire Lancer v Fire Lancer, and Yo will drop another barracks here. Also, these towers are gone, which is important. Yo has 4 relics, which is also important. Please do not move, deer. Okay, perfect. I could just see that deer running over the castle foundation and screwing this up for ACCM. So he'll castle this hill. Yo can't see that. Is Yo going to castle the other side of it? If ACCM starts to add wagons, that gets really tough for Yo long term. Yo can't really decide on what to do. Siege tower will roll in. You can just roll in, hop out. Yeah, castle's up now. Maybe got a little too ambitious here. He rolls in, he hops out, he kills the monk. He's back inside the tower. But the tower goes down, and most of the units actually die here for ACCM. That was not good. That was an example of the taxi going a little bit too far, I guess. Uh-oh. You lose your whole army. Yo gets confident that he can come back and build these castles again. We've got a castle here from Yo as well. He never lost his TC either. This castle will shoot those towers down. Interesting. Yo is just opting for a tower. So with the castle at home, he doesn't have the stone. He'll have to research guard tower, but I think Vietnamese towers are still pretty good. And Imp is huge, and Yo will be on the way to Imp. Don't ask me how. This has been a lot of pressure. I love the engagements for Yo. I love the relics for Yo. I love the fact that these towers, which could have been an issue on the sides, probably won't be. Yo can always convert a wagon here. ACCM will probably have to back off. So many units going down again there for ACCM, and he can't easily take his stone now. But ACCM's also on the way to Imp. Someone says siege towers should be convertible like sheep when not occupied. I don't know about that. Like sheep? Should that be the same for like horses on the map and camels on the map? You could pick them up with infantry units. A big fight. I mean, this position's really valuable for ACCM. This is his stone and this is his gold. He should be able to benefit just by having the tower upgrades and being Koreans. So I think eventually he shoots the towers back, but he still can't take the res right now. And I'm just looking around the map. He doesn't know about any of this. He hasn't expanded. He does know about this, but he's lost a tower. He is building another tower. I would say my instincts would tell me to just make a bunch of skirms here, but I think they're just going to continue to make the Fire Lancers, guys. Fire Lancers have crazy pierce armor. I think they might have as much pierce armor as the Berserks we've seen from the Vikings. I think it's 5 pierce armor. Might even be 6. It's only 2 pierce armor right now, so I think you'd have to get elite and then you get more pierce armor. But considering you don't need to get... Considering it has the ranged attack, which is just naturally applies. And then you also have lots of bonus damage at play. And for the Vietnamese, they get more HP. And for the Koreans, it's cheaper. And then you don't need an upgrade to get to it. And you just have to click Elite. It's a pretty good power spike. Just passing, though. Just passing. The taxi comes into town. ACCM will look for a raid. Yo is chasing this. Yo has refused to make his own siege tower so far. But you might need to accept it eventually. Yeah, there's elite Fire Lancer for both. So Korean Fire Lancers are cheaper, but Vietnamese have more HP. This is so dumb. This is so free. This is so dumb. I mean, come on. I mean, it's a good thing to try. You should do it if you can. Props to ACCM because Yo's distracted. Yo's army isn't here, so he's losing his vills. He's losing his tower. Dude, this siege tower is king right now. This is insane. Look at him zoom around in the back of the base. Keep going, ACCM. Keep going. Don't stop, man. Come on, just keep wheeling around. Okay, he'll lose it now. Yeah, but now he hops out and Yo is attacking the tower. Now does he win the fight? Imagine if he wins the fight because of that. And then his units are still back here. He does need to defend his own trebs, though. And Yo will roll forward. Yo attacks the treb. Yo will take the treb. Good move for Yo. He can fall back to his own trebs. Wow, ACCM actually wins that fight. That's so freaking tough for Yo. Again, luckily for him, though, he does have 4 relics, and he does have the stronger Lancers. But here comes the fight up the hill. Maybe it's ACCM's turn to take the trebs. If he can take the trebs, ACCM can hold, guys. These Lancers have forced the tower. Yo's focus is there. 1 treb is down. Big engagement. Lancer v. Lancer. What counters these Fire Lancers? More Fire Lancers. Don't consider any counters. Just make Fire Lancers, and it's working for ACCM. Is he about to win 3 straight? What crazy work from ACCM. He got to this castle in the first place. He's had to fight back for control over here. He's still around over on this side to drop towers and take these golds. And Yo just can't compete. Yo just cannot compete right now. He's just been completely outproduced. How many barracks do we have for ACCM? He's got 8. Yo's only got 5. And I just don't think Yo was expecting the sheer numbers here from ACCM. I expected the Vietnamese to win the fight because they have more HP. But it's cheap for the Koreans, right? Because if the ranged soldiers and infantry cost 50% less wood, and these units cost wood and gold. Now, ACCM did just throw a lot of them in that chaos. But I'm okay with that because it gives him a little bit of time to build up. I wouldn't mind hand cannon for ACCM here. You do have to worry about the Vietnamese skirms. Still a fire lancer back here. And just the fact that Yo had to run into the back and chase all of that took all of his focus away from those towers and the front. Yup Siang is in for ACCM. What a fighter, man. One of the best fighters our game has. It's crazy that he's been able to make this happen. We talked about how bad the map was. It was just straight up so bad on the front. It was never a problem because of the aggression. And he'll lose towers, but then he always just comes back with more and more and more. I think Yo is rattled right now. And Yo's Trebs should get sniped by the bombard cannons. He can't defend that. Yeah, Yo will lose his Treb. ACCM also loses the Treb, but Yo will lose another. And then Yo could lose the tower. Yo's monastery's here too, so he doesn't have the relics. They were pushed out of the monastery for a second. Yo is so little map control, but he does have this. ACCM will probably tower this in a minute, but he does have that for now. I'd expect ACCM to be really focused on taking down this castle now. That's one of 2 castles for Yo. But there's not much more ACCM needs to do to win the game. If you push here, Yo will be completely out of place. But if Yo starts to come this direction, maybe I'm wrong. That tower gets denied for now. It's Skirmisher and Lancer for Yo. It's Hand Cannon and Lancer for ACCM. It's double gold composition. We see a big patrol forward there, and he'll chew up the opponent's Lancers. And he's still pressuring this castle. There's no way Yo saves this castle. He's dropping his own castle over here, but I mean, he needs wood. He needs food. He needs his starting eco. I don't think he has time to get to Imperial Skirm. And I'm also not convinced that Imperial Skirm is even enough against the Fire Lancers. They have 6 Pierce Armor. How does a Fire Lancer get 6 Pierce Armor, but a Berserk doesn't? How's that happen? I mean, we're not looking at Vikings here. But I just, after talking about the Berserks and the other sets, that's on my mind. Yeah, castle's denied. Yo is dead. Yo is dead. ACCM. People were already counting him out. Asking questions. After the first 2 games. Like, T90, why is Yo such a good matchup against ACCM? Yeah, T90, I see. I told you Yo is going to destroy ACCM. This won't be 10 hours. Like, what? So sick. I mean, Yo could try. I mean, he should try. He's at 160 pop. He does have relics, I guess, as an advantage. But you want corners of the map in late game. And being able to have the north and the south locked down, and having Yo eventually stuck at this corner, he'll just run out of wood if this continues like this, right? I think Vietnamese do have the better units. So there is maybe a win condition to be found. But I don't find Skirmishers to be a very good unit against the Fire Lancers. Misclick, though, from ACCM. He will toss his hand cannons away. Yeah, it's the Lancer numbers that win you the fights, and ACCM just makes so many more. The Skirmishers don't do enough damage against Fire Lancer. Fire Lancer is just way too strong. I would just buy stone and just drop keeps in all these areas as you take ground away from Yo. How are those Lancers not dead yet? What in the world? Okay, they snipe another Treb. Are they going to snipe another one? Oh my god, dude, this is underneath a castle. What in the world? I mean, you could say Fire Lancer OP, but just a reminder that Yo should have the better ones, and he has not been able to do that. He's not been able to compete with the numbers, man. Because ACCM's spam and his map control has been so good, man. Mr. Yo will fight on because of Imperial Skirm. Maybe he fights on because of the relics, but the relics will be ejected from the monastery again. There's no way he can get close to all these towers. I think that the keeps are going to be enough to shoot the Fire Lancers down. Most of the Bomber Cannons should survive. They should, but actually these Fire Lancers are insanely good at underneath these towers. But this is the only area Yo can take wood right now. He's out of wood in the back. He can't really go this way because of the line of towers. ACCM just needs to camp the wood line. So let's just remind ourselves on the Civ priority of what's remaining. I think ACCM has 1 Civ remaining from his top 4 after this game. And then I think Yo is 2. So Yo will be down 3-2, but he has Mongols and Georgians, which was his number 1 pick. So like pick 1 and 3. This is really set up for the Yo comeback. At least with his civs. I don't really remember if ACCM has that 1 civ that makes me... I guess Georgians. Yeah, he's got Georgians there, which is maybe his strongest remaining civ. But everyone likes to make jokes that ACCM doesn't resign. Mr. Yo, like... Bro. Look at the score, and finally he taps out. ACCM wins 3 straight, man. And after the first 2 games, it looked like it was inevitably going to be a Yo victory. And how often do we see that, right? Someone gets up 2-0, and then the other guy is just mentally defeated, and then they just can't perform at the highest level. All the negative emotions can creep in. You think, oh, he's better than me. Oh, I'm not playing my best. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, my cat stepped on my keyboard. All these negative emotions. And ACCM just fights through it, man. He just fights through it. Crazy turnaround. And these have been really difficult games. But the theme, at least in some of them, have been take the map control and make it messy, dude. Take the map. I know these towers went down, but there was always another tower coming. And speaking of towers, the siege towers were genuinely played a big role there. Yo couldn't catch up to them because they're so fast. The units running around the back of his base pulled him out of the middle. So, yeah, well played to ACCM. You don't have any really notable eco bonuses with the Koreans, and he was able to still outboom him. The only eco bonus is stone mining. And then everything's cheaper for the Vietnamese. Next game, we got to lock in now. ACCM is locked in. He's playing as the Huns. He goes for the Huns. Wow, okay, so I'm immediately excited to see that. Yet again, he goes forward to try and lame here. And he's not going to find anything. He's gone the wrong way. And oftentimes, if you go the wrong way, you just got to run home. Go back and find your resources before they lame you. Now, Yo has not gone for the lame, luckily for him. Yo's just already pushed in a deer here. But this was the number 1 civ pick for Georgians. So, what do you think, chat, when you see Georgians? What style, what build order, what immediately comes to mind? Because I think I know what some of you guys are going to say. And I think that you can just skip all the crazy stuff. That's what makes this civ so good. It's why I was kind of shocked that they buffed it, too. You guys are saying Fast Castle, Fire Lancers, Siege Tower, Grenadiers, right? I don't think you have to. You get a lot of extra food from the hunts because of the livestock not decaying. You have really strong scouts that attack 25% faster. You have great cav archers. Now, what you don't get is knights, and Yo really likes civs with knights. But I think if you want to play normal Arabia style, you still can here. The 20% faster attacking bonus was already really good. They made it 25% recently, which I guess is only a 5% boost. But It is a boost. And then, I think in some ways, ACCM, playing as the Huns, he also will want to play Cav Archers. So we might see Cav Archer v Cav Archer later. Hun Cav Archers are really cheap. But they don't have the firepower of the Jurchen Cav Archers. But I'm getting ahead of myself because it's a pretty open map. So there will probably be a lot of other units before we get there. But yeah, there's no way Yo's going to go fast castle. Yo will just play scouts. And he'll adapt. Very open front of the base for him. No real easy way for him to wall with golds unless he wants to wall this one in somehow. And then I guess for ACCM, he's got the better option with the golds. But the wood lines are maybe a bit more forward here. Yeah, thanks. Thanks again for the input on the coffee order, guys. I will probably have coffee before the next series, I guess, whenever it gets here. Chrisic, thank you for the 25. Thank you, Beer Brother, for the 2 months with Prime. Juan, I don't know what you're referring to now because it's been a minute, but thanks for the resub, man. Thanks for lurking, guys. I know you guys are very busy right now at work, so thanks for taking time away from your busy workday to watch, if that is you, and maybe you finished work, or I don't know. Maybe you don't work. I don't know your situation, but thanks for watching, and hopefully enjoy the rest of the series. Someone's at the airport. Ah, okay, nice. Well, is ACCM there? Because he's been flying. Sorry, that was bad. But he's been flying, man. He's been killing it. He is not slowed down. Sorry, that was bad. This is me when I don't have my coffee, okay? There goes the barracks for ACCM. A big weakness for the Huns is their bonus that they can't build houses. Because the houses can help you naturally protect yourself as you play through a game. So, it's a strength, but it's also a weakness. As Michael Scott once said, when asked, what's your biggest weakness? I think, what was it? He was like, my biggest weakness is actually my strengths. Or what was it? Was it, he was asked what his biggest strength was, and then he said, his biggest strength is that he has no weaknesses? I forget what it was. Office fans have to know. What did he say during the interview? It was so funny, man. Oh, my biggest weakness is I care too much and I work too hard. Yeah. That's what it was. It was so funny. Oh, there goes the stable. He said a couple other things. ACCM wants to lame. He says, give me that sheep. He won't get it, but he tried. There's a lot of leftover sheep there for Yo. And ACCM's going back, and he kills one. Look at him. Oh, can he get another one? No way, dude. No way. I mean, he is really looking for the win right now. Quarterfinal, and bop, hits another one, too. Damn. So now Yo will just have to eat those sheep. But yeah, the scouts attack really fast for the Jurchens. So in a scout v scout battle, the Jurchens are always going to win that fight. Fast archery range for ACCM, much faster than I would have expected here. Kind of tough to manage your eco if you go for a range this fast. Scouts are fighting on the hill. Will be scouts and spears for now. But Yo will make a lot of scouts because his sheep last him very long time. It kind of feels like Tatars almost. It's different in the way the bonus works, but it kind of feels like you're playing Tatars with how long the sheep last. So this will be scouts and a fast archer follow-up for ACCM. I think he'll go for some tiny walls, and he'll play in this little bubble here. Yeah. The rest of the villagers are going to be walled up. But this could get nasty very quickly if you're not careful here, if you're ACCM. Nice job walling up the berries. That will still be an area of focus. Yo should know will be archers. But Yo could play old school style and just play full scouts against this. I think full scouts with this civ is really strong. You can play it just like you would if you're Magyars, guys. You kill spears so fast. The archers you could shrug off. You'll beat their scouts too. But Yo will actually add an archer range just for a few skirms. I wish we could have a scout v scout engagement again, so you could see the difference of the attack speed. But the attack speed is really impressive. Yo has to win 2 straight. Yo's not full walled, which we know he likes. Yo will fight this back. ACCM dives immediately and gets a villager kill. Now he'll lose everything, I think. But maybe his spears will get enough hits where this is worth it. And does he get the second? Oh, he gets 2 vills. Damn, I wasn't expecting 2 vills to go down. That was amazing from ACCM. If he waited any longer to move forward, even just another half second, Yo would have had this area walled up, and that never would have been a problem for him. Well played from ACCM, but there's still a lot of damage to be done. His base is still really open, and Yo's base is looking pretty protected. And Yo still has the scouts. Yo will have an archer too. The main army for ACCM is just a couple archers. I think you need to abandon the big wall project right now. Just leave that. Also need to be careful. Don't double click your palisades and press shift delete to delete those to get the wood back. Just leave it there. Because there's no way to select only built ones versus unbuilt ones. And you could delete all your walls here. Woodline's still protected. Archer mass is pretty high for ACCM. He will try to wall this way. There's 8 scouts out there for Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo just finished his sheep. They last a really long time here. Yeah, what's the bonus for Bulgarians for attack speed? You have to research your unique tech, and your cav attack's what, 33% faster? Okay, so then, but Georgians just simply exist, and they get 25% starting in feudal? So one civ needs to build a castle and research a tech. The other civ's just like, hi, I get that. I mean, there's an 8% difference, but... And the units are different, of course. I just don't think Yo will hesitate at all. Well, he did kind of hesitate. But the spearman just gets immediately killed off. The walls are not completed yet for ACCM, but he does have fletching at least. He does still have scouts, but Yo is slowly working his way towards some walls. Okay, once this tower comes up, I'm wondering if ACCM counterattacks. This does protect the area. Scouts can still kill villagers, but he was really concerned. And Yo will see the tower, and Yo will just back away with his army. Oh, he didn't see the tower, actually, but he just saw the archers. So yeah, maybe that tower was unnecessary. But I feel like he wouldn't have confidently moved out without that tower. Yo will come back now. That's a decent amount of army from ACCM, and there are some weak scouts, and Yo doesn't have bloodlines and armor yet, so Yo needs to wait a minute. And he does get bloodlines. He does take the fight. Now you can't tower your woodline if you're ACCM. But he is walled. He could always take this woodline later on. And he can bring his ranged units behind these walls and poke at Yo's army on the other side. This is a very close game. There's the threat of these Jurchen scouts killing big time, but they haven't been able to get in. Now, there will be more scouts from ACCM. So this could be full feudal. Bloodlines and armor would need to come in for ACCM to make me think that. I think he still really wants Castle Age. And he is getting bloodlines now. Micro with the ranged units. Saves the barracks for now. Yo still producing army behind, but he stopped with the scouts. He's just got 9. And he's got his auto scout again, bro. I love it so much. Every single game, Yo's always got that auto scout around the map. No wonder his score's so high again. That guy's been working overtime. Crazy. So funny. I think Yo's just going to go full send here. He's got 17 farms. He's got more scouts in queue. If you already have armor and bloodlines, you really just need to continue to commit, I guess. Because he spent so much food to delay his castle time. Yeah, ACCM knows this is a problem. He'll buy another tower. Now, Yo doesn't know about the original tower. And 2 towers fully garrisoned definitely changes a fight. So I think Yo won't care about this tower. He might still want to dive in if he were to get through, but ACCM still holds. Nice defense from ACCM. This is so hard to defend with this Civ. Amazing pressure from Yo, but Yo has not done enough yet. There's just no way ACCM can take these fights, though. He might need to buy another tower. Just to protect the other wood line. Yo goes into the TC. There's archers in there, guys. The archers fired a lot of volleys out of the town center. Another nice fight for ACCM. Can he defend here, though? If the walls are up, maybe he can. His walls might not be up for very long, and he can't build a quick house. He has to go with the palisade, but the micro from ACCM is really solid here. Look at that. Okay, stone wall now. This is so risky. But if he can kill the scouts, maybe he can use his own scouts to engage. Wow, this is impressive. I mean, you're going to take losses here, but he needs to keep the army out. I would have liked a tower. I know hindsight's 20/20, but I think if he would have bought the stone as the army was shifting around and just dropped the tower there, maybe that could have been better. So now Yo gets 3 villager kills after ACCM had 2, and now Yo's on the way to Castle Age. 3 ranges for ACCM. He does have a lot of archers still, and Yo's scouts took some big hits. And again, he falls into the TC. Damn, that was so bad for Yo. Now ACCM might be able to move forward, and ACCM, he could win the game with crossbow then. Yo's gold is pretty forward. We haven't looked at his base much, but yeah, that gold is still an issue. He is walled for the most part. But this is what the Huns want. They want a full army type game. And this will be 3 range cav archer production for ACCM as well. It might eventually build a town center too, but he's up. Impressive. Ultimately, the difference in the game for me is the fact that ACCM got that early damage. He got those 2 vills, and Yo spent a lot of time. There goes the auto scout. Yo spent a lot of time trying to get forward. And by the time he eventually got into a position where he could maybe do damage, ACCM had enough army to defend. And look at that again from ACCM. Little stone wall. Another stone wall. Villager's on 2 HP. She'll die. But it's worth it because the rest of the villagers survive. And now he heads this way, and there's a tower on the gold from Yo. Yo does have a lot of food. He does have 2 archer ranges. So it might feel like a good play to go for skirms. But skirms is pretty defensive. But I think skirms is just the play you have to go for right now. Which Civ is easier to play from this point on? The Huns really struggle in early castle. But if they don't die, I feel like things start to click and they start to flow pretty easily, right? You never have to build any houses. The production's really fast. Units are really cheap. I mean, still you don't have as many ways of defending. ACCM is looking for this army right now. He missed it. Yeah, ballistics is on the way for ACCM. I'm seeing a lot of gold and stone along the front here. Stone, gold, gold, stone. I feel like this hill wins the game. This tiny little hill. Siege workshop position there could be so strong. Just one town center for both. Man, this is a fun game. That many scouts in Arabia is kind of rare these days. I love this game. This has been great. But he's scared to move forward with the siege workshop. He's opting for the defensive siege workshop, and I think it's because he knows the skirms are coming. The scouts for Yo will be found. Yo will see the siege workshop. Nice game sense from ACCM. The skirms are over here. Siege workshop completes. Yo needs to back off, or ACCM needs to back off, and oof. I think he was looking over here. And Yo's got skirms on that gold. He's got skirms on this wood line. And now a second TC. for ACCM, and he's losing. Oh, God, he's losing his cav archers. Oh, man. He's microing over here, and it didn't even get much value, and he lost all of his cav archers. Great job from Yoda holds. ACCM has 9 villagers in queue from his town center, so you could tell the nerves are really high. And Yo will sneakily build this TC. This town center's kind of risky if ACCM is headed that direction to hit the other wood line. They're not even upgraded to crossbowmen. I think Yo will probably get the TC up in time. This could be a forgotten army for Yo. He doesn't have his mind on those archers. His mind is more so on the cav archers. And all right, ACCM will clear this in the back, but not after some really good value for Yo. And here go the archers. And maybe you just run in. No, Yo saw it. Okay, Yo saw it. I'm not sure if ACCM knew, but it looked like he was going to attempt to sneak in there, and he loses most of the army. And he's got a bunch of skirms. All right, so... Oh, we got ads. Chat's upset about the ads. Sorry, guys. That's weird. I thought we ran the ads. Hopefully you're out of it soon, because we could have a big shot. But I'm wondering how much Yo stays on stone here, because... They buffed the Iron Pagoda, and the Iron Pagoda was kind of an underrated unit. I feel like because Georgians had so many other options, we didn't see the Iron Pagoda because the Civ was so complete in other ways. It's a very good unit here, I think, to switch into. But it is a unique unit. You need the castle, and Yo doesn't have that much on stone. Third TC for ACCM. I feel like he needs knights now. I feel like the cav archers haven't accomplished anything this game. He has not had a counter to the skirms. I feel like when he was in Castle Age, he needed to build the siege workshop right away. And then instead what happened was he hoped he could do damage around the map. And then he lost a lot of his army, and then he had to build the defensive siege workshop, and now he's just chasing. Yo looks pretty comfortable right now. He clears up the remaining archers. He's on 2 town centers. 3 town centers. But he wants a siege workshop there, and that won't happen. I mean, still not a lot of villagers on stone for ACCM. But unique unit aside, just getting a castle up anywhere for offensive or defensive purposes could be really strong. Tarkin might be pretty decent in this matchup, actually. Yeah, we'll build the siege workshop next to the gold tier. Jerk at the castle, thank you for the 20 months. Chrisik, thank you. Appreciate it, guys. What's up, Zap? Thank you for the prime. Welcome back. Couple knights for ACCM. We will... If Yo goes too far with these skirms, he could lose all of them. And I guess he's wanted some damage here, but this is really where he would have wanted his positioning, and his siege workshop was denied. His town center's under pressure. He loses a couple vills. I think this could get really messy for Yo. I think he'll lose his skirmishers, guys. 4 knights with armor and bloodlines. I think Yo's moved forward with the wrong unit here. And he'll hit and run. It's still a lot of skirmishers, and there's a lancer or 2, but more knights should be following. ACCM has to be careful, though. More sieges coming forward. Oh, this is really nice value. ACCM will still get the kills he wants there. Yo is busy. ACCM starting to cook again. He's starting to cook. He blocks off the lancer. He hits the skirms. Okay, how are these skirmishers not dead? I thought these skirms were going to die. ACCM's thinking the same, but he lands a massive shot on the skirmishers. He micros down the rocket cart, loses his mangonel, but he's still attacking this TC. And Yo is so little on gold right now, guys. He does not have the gold tier. He can't take the gold tier. And his main gold is still forward. Still something he doesn't have a lot of villagers on. And he's still going to lose these skirmishers. I guess good. Luckily for him, the knights haven't come forward. But there's going to be more knights, and this is going to get more complicated for Yo. I was expecting Yo to try his unique unit. I was expecting the Iron Pagoda here. But it takes a long time to get there. And ACCM will take down another rocket cart with the cav archers. He's still pressuring. And skirmishers are all going down. There's more stables for ACCM. Now he could shift to stone as well if he wants to. This could be it, guys. ACCM could move into the semis with this. I had Yo as my favorite today. I think I said Yo 4-2. Because I thought there would be a lot more games that would go to the Imperial Age, like the first 2 games. But ACCM he defended so well in this game, and then his pedals to the metal now, full pressure. I think Yo's still thinking late game stuff. He's still trying to snag relics, but his Civ not getting knights right now is a weakness for the Georgians. And also, it's just been a lack of gold the whole game. He's got 6 on gold. He needs to fix that. He does convert a knight. He does come in with some lancers from the north. I don't know where he came from there. He hasn't taken down the siege yet. ACCM will keep coming here. He needs a repair villager for the siege. Or it could be game number 2 all over again, where his siege gets wiped. Defensive castle for Yo. The Vil count's still close. The eco efficiency should be higher for ACCM now. Then again, I mean, still a lot of stuff happening over here. Still some garrisons. Knights for ACCM dive. They'll take the rocket cart. And ACCM will bring the Vils forward to repair. He's bringing like 8 villagers forward to repair. But he stayed patient. So this castle, this doesn't protect the position here. It gives him Iron Pagoda, though. So I'm excited to see this unit, see if it's enough. That's a lot of cav archers and knights. So it really has to be OP right now. It has to be broken. Oh, man, ACCM's diving. Yo's ready, though. And look at Yo body block. Yo gets a lot of conversions again. Man, you just can't engage against Yo with knights because he always has a couple monks waiting. That was not worth it for ACCM. And now the knights have +2 armor. And now suddenly Yo has knights to take the siege. Yo gets another conversion. Yo will take the siege. There's the pagoda. 135 HP. It will have more HP than the knights. And the cav archer numbers are really low again for ACCM. What a game. What a crazy game. But Yo will be able to breathe. Okay, so Yo will want to take this hill. Yo will have... It's going to seem quiet here, but Yo really needs to... this hill. ACCM might feel like this is not an area he can fight in anymore. But I think if he goes this direction, Yo will just get exactly what he wants from this. Oh, man. Big shot again from Yo. What a hold, man. What a hold. The defense from ACCM in Feudal was crazy. The defense here from Yo is also crazy. But he's always got the monks back there. Can someone remind me? So I've seen the pagoda so infrequently that I think they have some type of charge attack stat, and I don't even know what it does, guys. Which is really bad. But again, we've seen the lancers, we've seen the fire lancers, we've seen the grenadiers. What is the little what is that? It blocks the first attack. Okay, so it blocks the first attack. It's got 12 base attack. It's got 5 pierce. So, to me, it looks like it's a unit that'd be a little bit better against cav archers than melee because of the higher pierce armor. Is that... it's first melee attack, right? Okay, first melee attack. Interesting, Yo doesn't actually move this way. ACCM is on the way to Imp. He's committing to cav archers. That's a lot of military for both right now. And Yo's on the way to Imp as well. There's actually not a lot of gold down here compared to other games. There's just one neutral gold. The other golds are positioned in the north. ACCM will go there. And ACCM will go here. I think Iron Pagoda should be... I think Iron Pagoda with the... they benefit from the attack speed too, right? From the Georgians, so... should be really good. But I don't have the cost of the unit memorized. My understanding was that the unit was pretty solid before. But it... with some changes, some players seem to think this should be insane now. 80 food, 55 gold. Okay, I mean, that's costly. But it's not as costly on gold. It's just as costly on food. Nice micro from Yo. That's sick micro from Yo. Both players just waiting their turn, but feels like Imp might have to make a difference for ACCM. The population's so close. What a game, man. What a game. What a game. He'll drop the castle on the hill now, Yo. To take that gold away from ACCM. I think they made Elite Pagoda cheaper. And I'm curious to see what the stat increase is, too. Wow, what a turnaround from Yo. I thought he was so dead. He was under so much pressure. How he was able to stabilize this is crazy. He's also getting more conversions. ACCM's taking a awful fight there. He has Cav Archer upgrades, so he's hoping to kill the Pagodas right now. That are still not elite. They take the fight. I don't think there's any chance for the Cavalier even. Right? You block the first melee attack. You attack faster than the Cavalier. And you have more... Well, you have a little bit less HP, but... That wasn't even... Yeah, that was all the Pagodas. And there's going to be the gold. Okay, stat increase goes from 12 base attack to 13 attack. And 160 HP. So that's 40 more HP than the Cavalier. And the positioning just seems unbreakable right now for Mr. Yo. I say all this, and ACCM has a lead in pop. But he does not have a lead in position anymore. When Yo starts to get the castles down around the map, that's when he will win the game. Yeah, the Cavalier's 140 HP. The Iron Pagoda's 160 HP. But the Iron Pagoda ignores the first melee attack. And again, it's like, you know, maybe with some other civs, you have to research a technology to unlock that ability. But it just exists. That's what some people have been critical of some of these newer civs. It's a lot is given before you build up towards a strategic decision, a technology, right? Not my opinion. Well, it's not too far off of my opinion, but it's just what people have been saying. We're not discussing balance right now. I'm just saying what other people have said. I'm curious, though, on if Heavy Cav Archer and Hussar can maybe take it, because you could maybe take the skirms out of the picture, and then maybe Heavy CA is decent enough. But they have 7, it says 7 Pierce Armor units, so it's not going to be easy. If anything, I think maybe Paladin would be the best thing Huns could try. Maybe Tarkin. Paladin is going to be costly. You need more gold. This gold is actually, if ACCM has any chance, it's so key. Because that's a gold that Yo just hasn't spotted. Oh, man, the Pagodas shred the Cavalier. They shred the Cavalier. And they're going to shred the Cav Archers. You just can't kill them. You just can't kill them. Trebuchets now from Yo will go onto ACCM's castle. If only Yo noticed this would be raided immediately, right? And then that gold would be denied. The Huns are Huns, guys. But not in a good way. I just don't think there's enough. ACCM needed to stop Yo from getting to the Pagodas. He needed to stop Yo from getting to the gold. He needed to push this position. But when Yo defended there, he got the position to win the game. And before, the game was really hard for Yo. Now this is super easy. He's got castles everywhere. He'll get his eco-techs he didn't have. He could spread out. He can raid. When Yo gets this position, it's game over against anybody. You just can't... You can't stop him when he has this much map control. And he'll look to put a stop to it with another castle. Still no unique text, by the way. So you could get unique text. I don't know how useful they are with the units he's currently making, but I don't think it really matters that much. ACCM's going to fight just like Yo did in the previous game, even though he seems completely dead. But these Pagodas and these skirms are taking down the Cav Archers, and another castle goes up. More TCs will go down. More villagers will fall. And we will get a game number 7. This is exactly what people were saying. Sometimes you don't get the storyline you want, but this will be a 4-hour series. Damn. I mean, well played from Yo. As much as the pagodas look really, really good, right? Getting there is extremely difficult. And so, while it seemed like Yo in early Castle Age had some chances, he lost that group of skirms on the back, and he was really struggling on the front. If ACCM just had a little bit more here, if he just maintained the position, maybe had some patience, maybe we never see the Iron Pagodas in these numbers. I think for ACCM, he thought, I've done enough, or, you know, maybe I need to do a little bit more, one or the other, and he went super aggressive with a fight, and it was a horrible fight. This is a 50-50 situation. Maybe right now ACCM has a slight lead, but then he engages here, and when he engages here, it all falls apart. Yo just sits here. He waits with a couple monks, hopes for his opponent to engage. Will get 1 conversion. He'll get 2 conversion, and it will get a 3rd, I think. And then he immediately has some pagodas and those knights and those lancers to turn around and take out the siege. And once the siege is gone, he micros his skirms pretty well, and then the skirms can take down the cav archers. Like, that was the fight where the game changed right there. And even after that fight, the population's 122 versus 126. But that was a bit of a reset to the push. The siege couldn't pressure anymore. It couldn't take down the TCs. It couldn't flatten the skirms. And then Yo can make the pagodas. And then from there, ACCM, of course, didn't feel like he could attack here. He had to move down here. And the second he does that, Yo able to take the middle, push that back, take the middle, and then that's all she wrote. But that was Yo's number 1 pick on his draft. So he felt very strongly that was going to be the civ for him. But those 9 conversions were so important. So important. Yeah, I don't know if my coffee's here. I'll have to check. Great job from Yo to manage his eco. I don't know how he managed his eco that well. Under that much pressure, that's ridiculous. Just insane. And not even the pressure in the game. Like the pressure in the series, dude. He's got ice in his veins. All right, guys. Game 7. And Yo is Mongols. So I would expect the scout to move forward and for the laming to be insane. You just have to hope that you don't have a boar on the front. And you have to hope you find your opponent. And boar on the front, sheep on the front, boar on the front, sheep on the front. And I mean, dude, this is like, they're right next to each other as well. They're so close together, man. This is so good for the Mongols. But it's actually not bad for ACCM that he sees that Yo is there. Because what that does, Yo says, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to steal anything, and he'll be able to track me. Yo didn't see this boar, but he is seeing they both have their deer on the front, and he is seeing the deer. So I think they're both just going to push their deer. Okay. And Yo's also going to bring in the boar just in case. So Mongols have that hunt bonus. There should be an advantage for the Mongols with what they could do early. 40% hunt bonus. There's 4 deer plus the 2 boars. Wood lions are pretty awkward for Yo. He doesn't have anything on the back. And the gold is somewhat positioned behind this big wood line, though, so that could be good. I would expect a lot of army. For ACCM, I mean, there's hills from both on the front. But for ACCM, he does have his berries towards the back. His gold is towards the back. He also has his mule cart already, and he'll be taking the wood there, so not bad. Did ACCM not get a single deer yet? It was a group of 4. Yo did a double deer push there. And now ACCM is he's gonna just be pushing in his first, so I don't know what happened there. Damn. It's not horrible. The Mongols are going to have a lead, but you would have wanted to have 1. I don't know what happened. It's super easy to push deer these days. The deer don't really reset. So I missed it. Maybe you guys were looking at it, but it normally they can stand there for a while and they'll still listen to you. You have a pretty good map here if you're ACCM for against the Mongols. This could have been way worse. You could have lost your boar. You could have lost your sheep. You could have no deer. There is a slight chance that Yo chooses to open with man-at-arms with all this food. That's not a Yo type build. Yo likes to go for scouts, but there's a slight chance. Yo knows his sheep are back here. He'll bring in boar number 2. He's pushing in his deer. The funny thing is, Yo might try and steal one of these deer from ACCM next. Because they should know that they're both just pushing the opposite deer group here. Yo, Luca, welcome, man. Thank you so much for the new sub. Welcome. Gold for Yo. Interesting. So Yo is going to open Archer Spearman and then probably follow it up with Scouts later if he feels it's the right play. It seems a little weird when you have all that food income, but you still do bring in the food and you save the food for the upgrades. And it's not something that ACCM will be able to scout or expect because I think he was going to push the extra deer. And no fast castling from Yo. Yo's on the way up. 18 pop. Falls back. Brings in his sheep. But yeah, I don't think this is an archer's long-term build for Yo. I think this is to open with archers and spears, to pressure the strong Georgian scouts, try and force the Georgian player into skirmishers, and then maybe you can add your own scouts later. But maybe. There's been this theme for the Georgians where they fall into this situation where they want to go cav archers a lot. And that's fine in some matchups. That's not fine in this matchup. Mongol cav archers fire 25% faster and they get thumb ring. You can't ever think cav archer is a good play here. So you need to control the game flow. Like, the best game flow for cav archers is scouts, full walls, and you stop making armies. So you don't want it to be that type of game because you might be stuck. Like, you have to go cav archers. Anyways, Yo comes forward, sees the barracks, no surprise. Will drop his own barracks. And I think ACCM will just stay at home. He doesn't want the fast feudal time to lead to him losing a scout here. This is Yo's second civ pick. And this is ACCM's third, I think? Maybe second? They're both pretty high priority picks for both. Both really good civs. But I would definitely prefer the Mongols. Just because you have the early initiative. If the walls come down, though, if the Georgians can drop their churches later on in their eco should be superior. So it's a series, it's a matchup that goes back and forth for me. Mongols at the start, Georgians maybe in the mid, feudal age. Mongols maybe early castle age with the cav archers and the lancers. Georgians mid castle age. Yeah. Mongols early imp. Georgians super late imp. I don't know. But ACCM sees his base here, guys, and he's going to go for a full wall. You know what he doesn't do, though? He doesn't scout what Yo is going for. He does not know Yo is going archers. Now, if Yo is going scouts, he could maybe punish this. There is a spearman there, but who knows? Or maybe punish this. It takes him a while to move out. So he'll bring his spears and his archers forward. And so far, so good for ACCM if he wants to wall up. It's actually really nice for him, too. He sees the archer and he sees the spear, so he knows. I would bring... Just bring the whole family, dude. Cousins, uncles, second cousins, even that one guy named Fred that's technically not family, that you just call him uncle. Bring them all to wall this. Don't build an archer range. Just try and be greedy here. Get the walls down quickly. If he gets through here, this is a problem. But if he doesn't get through, it's fine. And he's fine. And ACCM, okay, gets the walls. You can tell he's panicking a little bit. The archer range is on the back, still not built yet, but he completes the walls. This is not what Yo wanted. Not what Yo wanted at all. Yo saw this map and he was like, man, this is going to be so much army. But now he's just knocking on the walls. And it's complete full wall over here for ACCM as well. Damn, that's so good. And now he can counterattack. Place a couple houses here. Yo is fletching, so maybe he snipes that field, but ACCM will never make that mistake. ACCM's food economy is not amazing after all the walls. He's just now adding the farms, but he might go for the kill. You know that Yo knows that you know... sorry. Yo knows that your scouts are coming this way, and you know that Yo knows. So if you see an early opportunity, maybe take it now because Yo's obviously going to be preparing himself, and that's a nice snipe. And the scouts will slowly regenerate. So you might want to take the fight on the next one as well, and he sees more archers. Knows there's at least one archer in there, and oh, now he knows there's 4 in there. Oh, trap! Oh, but Yo, uh-oh. Scouts get away anyways. Yeah, that's so good for ACCM. The game's so hard for Yo right now. He is walled this way, but it feels kind of difficult to ever get a full wall down. The skirms, we're attacking over top of the wall here, so Yo will be aware of that. But you don't want to add a stable against skirmishers when your opponent is fully walled. You're okay with adding scouts with your archers when you can eventually break through. When the walls are there, you really want to resist spending food and delaying your castle age time. Yo's still ahead in resources collected. It's just all the benefit of being the Mongols. He will add the stable. He's got to be patient. Army will come back home. Scout will go scout the map. Typical Yo. And will ACCM actually advance out with his army right now? Looks like he's going to. I feel like Yo can make one scout and have it in the stable. And he could just do nothing else, and ACCM won't engage. If ACCM sees the stable, he's going to expect a lot of scouts. Let's see how many Yo makes. Oh my god, auto scout just passed in game 7, please. Freaking Yo and his auto scout, but that's a factor here. It'll scout a lot of the important areas of the map, and these stones and these golds all through the middle makes me think this game might not go imp. More scouts from ACCM. Did he see that stable? I don't think he did. He never scouted the front. Yo's just waiting on the hill. It wasn't actually auto scout from Yo, so maybe he caught a glimpse of those skirms. And Yo is adding a lot more scouts. So if he knows the skirms are there, obviously more scouts are going to be needed. I think this could get really bad for ACCM. Just not having the knowledge that the opponent is adding scouts hurts so much here. The skirm micro is going to have to be perfect against the spears and the archers. Thank you for the gifted subs, Admiral Ballstench. Game number 7, as we're being as professional as possible here. I do appreciate it, though. ACCM just seems to sense something's up there. Catches a glimpse, maybe, and it just harassed the woodline. So he doesn't go too far. He doesn't try and advance up the hill because he could be surrounded, and he's adding more scouts as well. So Yo has to debate on what side he wants to engage on. If he comes from this side with enough scouts, he can clear everything. But then he leaves himself exposed. And now he goes forward with the scouts. As forging's about to complete, ACCM will back off. He's up to 8 scouts himself. And he's getting armor for his scouts. And now he has a hill. So that's tough for Yo to engage. Oh, man. People who love Arabia. This is it. This is it, man. This is what we're talking about. The micro's needed here. Armor isn't in for the cav yet. Yo just dives in. He's got good numbers. It's difficult micro with these skirmishers right now. And the forging scouts from Yo have taken some good hits against those skirms. They'll take the fight. Armor's in for ACCM, but the skirm count's not horrible. I can't tell who's winning. Who just won the fight? I guess Yo won the fight. Yo barely won the fight. One more unit there changes the whole engagement, and these archers would be dead, but they are not dead for Mr. Yo. I love the forging upgrade. I loved how he kind of hid the fact that he was on scouts for quite a while there. And it was the correct play from ACCM to grab armor. It was the correct play from him to add his own scouts, but he just didn't get the armor in time. And he never really had the number of skirms he needed. And as always, when you're talking scout and archer against archer scout, the archers actually do damage to scouts, especially when they don't have armor. But the skirmishers always are just doing 1 damage against the scouts. So it's a better comp. It's just a harder composition to get into. And Mr. Yo's had a much more difficult job to get his base protected behind this too. So it's impressive. Now, I'm seeing the GGs from chat. So we know how many people in chat are not fighters like ACCM and Yo. Even if this was like super game over and Yo and ACCM had no chance, there's no way he'd resign. Like, it's game 7 and it's ACCM. This guy's not resigning for anything this game. In fact, if I have a moment, I might be better off getting my coffee now. Oh my goodness, it's been sitting outside the door for 25 minutes. Oh my god. It's fine. I can't step away during a game 7. I'll get it afterwards. So which means in an hour, I guess. So, similar thing with how these units scale. Crossbow can still have its timing, but skirms behind walls can still be pretty good for ACCM. And he's house-walled everything here. He's house-walled everything here. The only area he's vulnerable is on the front, and I don't know what Mr. Yo was focusing on there, but Mr. Yo loses 2 archers. I think Yo knows this scout from ACCM is back here, and he wants to kill it. And he gets it. T90 auto in chat for Yo. He's auto-scouting the map. But, yeah, Yo's checking everything, and he's like, holy crap. Everything is double fortified. That's crazy that he did all of that. I feel like there's an argument for a stone gate here. He's obviously going to have an army, but that palisade gate is looking pretty weak right now. You don't want the army to go through. And Mr. Yo will go big army. I say big army. He's just 1 stable and he's just 1 archer range, but he will drop the siege workshop, which ACCM will not see yet. ACCM will want to go double stable knights here with some skirms, but a mangonel on the hill is going to be brutal. And Mr. Yo drops a TC. Now, this is a town center that I think means Magadai. Like, really early Magadai. Nice snipe there from ACCM. That's a 3rd archer he's killed with just the feudal age skirms. Okay. I think he also saw the siege workshop with that. So, now he knows about the siege workshop. He will drop a church here. I don't think he's getting elite skirm. He has to choose between armor on the knights and elite skirm. And elite skirm is looking pretty awkward to use against siege. Church does fire arrows. Church does increase the work rate in the area around it, but there's not really a lot of workers. And the arrows, while they are strong, it's not really that strong right now. But there's no monks for Yo. And every time you see a siege push, you normally add monks because your siege is vulnerable against knights. Look at this sneaky play from ACCM. And Yo's outpost can't see it. That's so good. That's so cool, man. That is so cool. Imagine if he was on the stone a little bit earlier. So ACCM wants to go from both directions now. He wants to run in this way and then take the hill with the other army. Will Yo see this now? Okay, the knights are on screen. Yo will get distracted. Ooh, the knight took 2 hits to the mangonel underneath the TC. That's not good. Also, Yo needs to be completely walled right now. If those knights were to counterattack, this could get really tough. Here he comes. ACCM's running up the hill. He's got knights coming from the other side. Can he clear this? If he can clear the army, Yo's going to have a nightmarish situation. The skirms also have been saved. So the skirms are going to survive and can be upgraded. The knights take an amazing fight. ACCM will push this back. ACCM will clear everything. And guys, Yo just committed to a town center right beyond this. So if ACCM wants to push now, he's got 2 really big targets. Okay, Monk gets a conversion. That's definitely worth it for Yo. A lot of the skirms will die. But Yo will still lose pretty much all of his army. It's a full reset. And ACCM just played so creatively there with the knights behind. He was so patient under pressure. Yo thought that it was a boom game, that he had the lead in, which is why he dropped the 3rd town center. He didn't expect the army to be in those numbers. Honestly, could be a GG play if that isn't quick-walled right there from Yo. ACCM almost breaks through. A hole would end the game. But can Yo turn this around now? I still think a castle's key. Classic Mr. Yo style is to get a castle down to protect this town center at the perfect time. For now, he's adding camels. Adding camels to match the knights. But he doesn't have any leftover scouts or units that can take down monks. And Yo loses the villager there, but there will be monks from ACCM as well. There'll also be the second TC for ACCM. He also will go this way. Quite a few palisades over here, so maybe he can break in. But I think Yo knows he's over there. And Yo can now move forward again. Trying to be so creative in the back of someone's base is sometimes not ideal because you can't get back to your base as quickly as you need. And careful ACCM. He'll take the fight because he has his monk there. But Yo is a monk there too. Big stone walls from Yo. Big house walls from Yo. He defends. And Yo will get 1. Will he get 2 conversions? He just gets 1. But, I mean, he kills the monk. And now ACCM's monk is leaving. And the monk is going to die. And Yo is holding. Yo is holding. Yo is holding really well. And he's got 13 on stone with Mongols. ACCM wanted to be in here so bad, but I think he made the mistake of leaving the middle. The middle was so critical. If he had all of his army together with a monk or 2, I think it's fine, and he can be taking these fights, even against the camels. Oh, but now it's getting worse. That was a very Yo conversion. A fast conversion there for him. The knights do come in. The siege is actually still a bit of a threat here. But it's all about the castle for Yo. Yo's done a good job to just keep these units out. ACCM's done a good job to at least keep pressuring. But here comes the castle. Mangadai, one of the best unique units in the game. And Yo is maybe the best unique unit player in the game. He loves his unique units, as we saw in the previous game. He has Bod Canero already from when he went crossbow. So he's not... He should get bloodlines at some point, so he's got the HP. University will probably come up so we can get ballistics. And ACCM can't push the middle then, because there will be castles. Just crazy that Yo was able to survive all that. I really wonder what happens if ACCM always holds the middle. Like, I feel like it's a failure to recognize what the map looks like. There's golds everywhere. There's hills everywhere. Around the back side is just not the position you want to be in. But he took damage, and he wants counter damage. And maybe that was the best avenue for him to find it. He will have full armor and full attack on the knights, but the Mangadai are a slow build-up unit. And the unit's going to be massed. Yo will play pretty passive now. I think he feels like he can't lose as long as he doesn't make mistakes. Cav archers will snipe a monk. That's worth it. And now I think ACCM's like, oh no, that's bad. Might even cancel the +2 attack. Cancel the +2 attack and then try and go up to Imp to treb that down or something. He wants his own castle. There's 2 town centers here. Is he going to loop around and castle both of them? Oh, he was thinking about it. He's definitely thinking about it. Initially, I think he wanted his castle behind Yo's woodline. ACCM loses both monks. That's not good. And the villagers are still waiting to come forward. Yeah, I think he wanted a castle. Maybe he wanted a castle here, but then he couldn't do that. So then maybe he wanted a castle back here. If Yo sees this, Yo can counter castle. Yeah, Yo knows. Yo knows. He saw those other vills. This is a beautiful castle for him to protect anyways. And ACCM will castle here instead. ACCM wants Imperial Age. He wants Imp. He wants Trebuchets to take down the castles. Can he complete this castle? It has to go up. There's camels with good upgrades. There's Mangadai with good upgrades. The knights are dying so quickly. But his castle might still be able to go up. He has to sacrifice his whole army to get this castle completed. But Yo knows what this means. And Yo will click Imperial Age first. Yo's on the way up. So Yo has 2 castles. ACCM's desperately balancing his resources, and now he clicks up. But it'll be 2 castle Mangadai production now. And Yo will be in a position to treb this down. The only thing I'll say as the positive for ACCM's position, because it's certainly not the relics, it's not the vills, it's not the units, but Mangudai produced slowly, and he will have to choose Trebs over Mangudai, which means that he might lack the numbers. ACCM, if his game plan is to just snipe the Trebs and then use his own Trebs to take down castles, he does have an opportunity to remove Yo completely from Mangudai, especially if Yo triples down on the front. Like, if Yo builds another castle here, all those castles are exposed. ACCM, you need to... Oh, no. You need to... Oh, boy. Buddy, you need to know fast. Yeah, that's not happening. Yep. Okay, he sees it. Maybe you just castle here anyways, though, because it hits the TC. Oh, my... Honestly, he's positioning his castles so he can dive to take the Trebs. And his castles help protect. It looks crazy, but you've got to be crazy to have a chance of coming back here. That will go up. And the army for Yo is over here, so it's not like Yo can deny that. Yo will place his next castle safely over there. Guys, I think there's a chance for ACCM. I know that a lot of us have had negative experiences with the Mongols, and I know that there's a lot of negative emotions for people who have lost to the Mongols before. But listen, if whoever wins the Treb War here could win this game, look at where Yo's eco is. And Yo doesn't have a unit that can run underneath castles as easily and snipe Trebs. I know Mangudai have a bonus for siege, but it's not the Treb sniping unit here. Yo also can't easily wall in everything. Oh my... Freaking Manaspa, are you blind? Oh my god, dude. These Manaspa... Oh my god. Dude, that's so unlucky. If he just had them moving a little bit, he would have denied the whole castle. Alright. Alright, well, the Manaspa will still move around. The Mangudai are still doing their thing with the raids. Yo will not know that he's up by 30 villagers. All he knows is whatever happens with these castles here. And I already told you. You already know exactly what's about to happen once the armor's in with these Cavalier. And Yo can't produce Trebs and Mangudai at the same time. He has to choose. So he only has 20 Mangudai. Not elite. They're costly. He's busy back here. Manaspa are attacking over here. But ACCM, you got to go, dude. You got to take the Trebs now. And you have to repair your castle. You can't lose your own castle. Here he goes. Was waiting for Cavalier. He's microing. He'll take the Trebs. At what cost? I'm not sure. But he will take the Trebs. His castle has to stay up. It has to stay up. It will. It will. Over here, Yo lost. Oh, man. Yo killed so many vills because they were repairing the castle in the castle fire range. Maybe the castle was too close. And Yo's backing away to his other castle. He's still walling this out. He might lose this castle, but the Mangudai are shredding. They're not even elite. And it feels like Yo is just barely holding on. He can still make trebuchets from over here. It'll be tough for ACCM to dive for the Trebs again. Again, beautiful job. These little raids can be so annoying. And sometimes you can overreact or underreact to them. It's been the perfect amount of reactions. Look at Yo over here, by the way. Just taking some gold. Like, no problem. The confidence is crazy. I think ACCM's golds are way too exposed. He has to take this castle down. He has to take the castle down. He has to snipe those Trebs again. He cannot lose his own castle. All of this has to go well. Yo will wall them. Gates, stone walls, elite Mangudai's in. Do the Cavalier even have husbandry? I don't know. They just seem so slow compared to the Mangudai. And look at the Mangudai shred. And Yo with the quick walls. House walls around the Trebs. His Trebs are still firing, and he will save every Treb. Well, maybe he does. Because ACCM taps out. Dude, that was a crazy game from Yo. Crazy series from Yo. And Mr. Yo, in back-to-back games, wins with the unique units. And he gets the job done. He will move into the semifinal. What a series. What a heartbreaker for ACCM because he clawed his way back. And he played so well today, but we knew it would be close between these two. Almost every single game went to the Imperial Age. We saw a lot of different fight and strategies in this game. But I really think for ACCM, if you want me to sum this up, after the full clear, he's got to just fight mid. Yes, Yo's going to have the economy lead right now. And yes, Yo made it very difficult for him to do damage. I wonder if it's because he didn't know about these town centers. Yeah, it feels like he didn't know about this. Usually what happens after you clear right there is you push with siege and monks in the middle, and you just never leave this hill. But I don't think he knew about the town centers, and maybe that's why. That was 2 TCs you could push with siege. And then his army was on the back, and because his army was on the back trying to get in, Yo just took the front again against the new units, and just... He walled out the other army. The new army on the front got killed off, and then by the time ACCM ever got a solid force again, Yo already had the castle. So... that was some patience from Mr. Yo, but if ACCM rewatches this, I think he'll feel some pain because he definitely didn't push the position he needed to. Great stuff for Yo. I'm excited for him. I don't know who will be up against in the semifinals yet. We have to figure that one out. This is just the first quarterfinal. Next quarterfinal will be Hera against Hart, and that should be starting very shortly. Usually when the first series goes on this long, those guys are dying to play. So thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. I need to get my coffee.